Hello and welcome back to the Funfiltered podcast. I am Sam and I am joined as ever by Jordan.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm alright.
It's episode 50.
Yeah.
False enthusiasm.
No. I just realised I didn't bring one of those Yeah, okay. I should have brought one of those.
What are they called? Party, not poppers.
I was going to say poopers. They're not party poopers.
Just
party horns?
Yeah, party horns.
I thought it was like a party horn is more like a traditional, like a trumpet thing.
A trumpet?
So like a trumpet thing at the end.
No, that...
What are they called? The trumpet holes.
What are trumpet holes called?
Yeah.
Trumbles?
Those big, they look like funnels on the end of a trumpet that the noise comes out of.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. Apertures. I don't know what they're called.
Okay, a party aperture. I forgot to bring my party aperture.
But no, you're thinking of the thing that extends when you blow air into it. Yeah. Okay, well that's not like a trumpet, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I thought a party horn looked like a trumpet.
What are you picturing when you think of a party horn?
A small multicoloured trumpet.
A trumpet?
Yes. Take out all of the mechanisms and piping. It's just it's like a stick.
Right.
With the aperture on the end. The trumpet aperture.
Oh, you mean like what are they called? Like in medieval times, like the war cry thing, like.
Sure.
What are they called?
A bit like those, yeah.
What are they called?
I don't know. Are they trumpets?
Not foghorns.
No, not foghorns.
Something horns.
Not French horns.
Not war horns.
No. Let's list all of the horns that's not. By process of elimination, we might find the right horn.
Oh, they're not a tricorn, that's a hat.
Yes.
I don't know.
And not a horn, because that's just a horn.
It could be like on an animal.
Yeah.
Like on a rhinoceros.
On a rhinoceros. Or a Viking's helmet.
Yeah. It could be an abbreviated form of horniness or horny. It's got the horn.
Yeah, I'm a bit horn right now.
No, I don't like that.
How are you doing today, Jordan? A bit horn, if I'm honest.
Bit horn, yeah. Okay. So it's
who would be speaking to me? That would be my response.
A bugle. Is that what they're called?
I'd be talking to a bugle.
No. The war horn. Bugles. Is that what they're called?
Maybe it's a bugle.
It's like in Shrek.
Yeah. Again, though, isn't a bugle basically a small trumpet? It's got the valves and everything in the middle.
It might do.
Okay. I don't know if it's just that long straight.
Yeah, the stick, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, what were you saying? What do you call what?
Yeah. No. I said to you, who would I be talking to that I would say, I'm a bit horned, to be honest, in that kind of casual...
In a casual way?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't.
And then your response was a bugle. So I'm assuming that, we stopped that conversation, now we're returning to it.
You wouldn't even say that to me, so I think that means nobody, right?
Okay, but I must be saying it to someone, because I just said it.
Yeah, but you said it in a theoretical, hypothetical context.
Yes, but in that hypothetical, I'm going to be talking to someone, right?
Well, who were you picturing in your hypothetical?
I was just picturing a person asking me how I was.
But they didn't have any features.
Yeah.
Were they male or female?
No, they were just a thing, an entity, a human-shaped,
But there's usually a biological dimension to it, isn't there?
Well, they look like a human, after all.
But if I picture a character, and it's a man, it'll be like a man's figure, but the face is kind of blank.
Yeah.
But maybe some hair, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, it just looked like a 5'10".
So probably a man then.
Slimish man.
Okay. All right. So it was a man.
But it might not necessarily be a man. Because I feel like if I were to say, I'm a bit horned, to be honest, in that kind of flippant... I don't think I would say that to a partner.
But we'll never know. We'll
never know. Never, ever will we know.
If anyone, a partner... Because like I said, you wouldn't say it to me. And I'd like to think that if you were to feel comfortable enough around a friend to say that, it would be me probably.
Yeah.
So if not me... Not your family, obviously.
No, of course not, no.
So yeah, only a partner, surely.
But again, with the partner though, there's that... Because I'm saying it in that kind of there's something I can do about it.
Okay.
Whereas with a partner, obviously consent and all that, but I could do something about that with a partner. So why would I say it in that kind of what you're going to do? Because that just comes across... I come across as a dick in that situation. Where it's I'm horny, but, it's not like you could do anything about that.
Well, you've added context. I mean, that sounded sarcastic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sarcastic before. There was just a bit dejected.
No, what I'm saying is that, the way that I originally delivered it stands.
Right.
What I'm saying is that to a partner, that's how it might come across.
Deliver it. Deliver it as you would deliver it, as you delivered it the first time.
I think I said it like, I'm a bit horned, to be honest.
That just seems like...
I'm a bit horned right now.
That's just... It seems like another way of saying fancy a bit, love. I mean, like, yes, okay, sex can just naturally unfold. But it is often the case, like, do you wanna?
Yeah, but again, that's incredibly dickish, because it's not like,
What, do you want to have sex?
Well, that's the thing. It's not a proposition. It's not like, I'm kind of in the mood. Are you in the mood? It's like, I'm a bit horny. What are you going to do about it? But it's just casual, isn't it? It's like... Yeah, but that's... but you're
adding the what are you going to do about it?
I'm saying, like, is this how I'm coming across to my partner? Is this how my partner is interpreting these words?
Well, I don't know. Because I am not your partner.
No.
Let's specify that.
No, we know this.
For a podcast, yeah.
We know this.
Yeah.
That should be enough. Yes. That we know this. But yeah, like, wouldn't that... Well, yeah, why would I say...
it would all depend on the delivery. The way you've been delivering it, I don't think that's like... I don't know. How... Do it again. Do it one more time.
A bit horned, to be honest.
It just sounds like nothing. It's just... You're just saying it.
It's kind of... I don't know. It had a similar energy to... not so great, if I'm honest.
Okay.
You kind of... like, how are you doing? It's like, not great. Just kind of in that kind of like, you don't have to... I don't expect you to inquire further. Just know that I'm not at my best right now.
You're reading too much into your own delivery.
Because you're not reading into it. Because I was like, read into this for me, Sam. And you were just like, I don't know. So I'm having to do it for me.
It depends entirely on delivery. But the way you've been delivering it doesn't suggest what I think you think it suggests.
Okay. Well, I don't think it suggests... Like, I know that it's casual.
It's casual, yeah.
And not much else. It's just kind of like...
You're just saying it.
Like, it's flippant. The delivery, it's so flippant. It's as though it's being delivered to a stranger. But this is not something you would say to a stranger.
A stranger?
Well, just like, yeah, if you were to, like... A stranger that you would have a reason to interact with. Like somebody at the shop or somebody, like somebody you work with. Or just kind of like, oh, how you doing today? It's like, I don't know you, but you've... But I'm going to have to give you an answer now.
But I feel like that's the tone I would have if you asked me or if another friend asked me. Like, if I was to say to your friend I was feeling horny, and I said, how are you doing today? Go, a bit horny, to be honest.
Bit horn.
Yeah, but let's just add
let's not forget the bit that this came from.
But let's add horny just to make it crystal clear.
Okay.
Bit horny, to be honest. No, one more time. How are you feeling today, Sam? A bit horny, to be honest. That would be like, to a friend, the casualness would, I think, generate laughter.
Okay.
You're saying something like that in such a blasé...
I don't know, it had an air of like... Yeah, it kind of had an air of like, I'm slightly upset by this.
Well, you would be if you were horny, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would be slightly upset if you had no outlet for it. But I don't know, I think if you turn to a partner and went, a bit horny, to be honest, it would either just be like, yeah, you're having a laugh, son.
Yeah.
Or, all right, then. I don't think they would go like, how dare you?
No, well, that was part of my question.
Right. Okay, but
all
like
you had to say,
it's all dependent on delivery, and the way you were delivering it, I don't think wouldn't be read in any negative way.
Okay, all right. So I would, if I were to say it to anyone, it would be a partner,
either a partner or me. But because you don't say it to me, then yes, only a partner.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And the partner would not be. They would either be not okay with what I said, or they would be.
But them being not okay with it, not in a... Look, it depends on delivery. It depends on who the partner is. If your partner's like a very serious... Either a very serious person or a very feminist person, yeah, it's probably not going to go over greatly.
Yeah.
But most like normal, down-to-earth women in a proper relationship, go, feeling a bit horny, they're either going to go, yeah, all right, sod off. Not happening.
Yeah.
In a similarly casual way. Or, all right, let's have a pop. I don't see many going, how could you say that to me? Unless they're a feminist.
Right, okay.
When you have to, like, write a letter beseeching, a statement of intent beseeching, the approval.
It has been 7 moons since our last dalliance.
Yes, exactly. Since our last conjugation.
Yes. I yearn for more. With every fibre of my being. Please consent.
Yes.
And then send it off with a raven.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if raven goes with feminist.
What bird goes with feminist?
Well, Tumblr.
Tumblr's not a bird.
No, but in terms of like...
A Twitter bird, though.
The Twitter bird, yeah, I suppose.
Is that a robin?
I don't know what it is.
It's blue, but I don't know if the bird that it's actually based on is blue. It might just be a robin.
I don't know.
Okay.
If you're talking about method of delivery, then yeah, Tumblr. Raven Tumblr. If you're asking about what bird would represent a feminist.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I thought bird because, obviously, like you said, message by raven or owl or messenger pigeon.
But a method of communication.
But I suppose just, like, what's the most feminist animal? What animal would you, like...
Animal.
Yeah, if you could, like, train one animal...
To deliver a message to a feminist.
To deliver a message to a feminist, what animal would it be?
Something gelded.
Okay.
Something gelded. A donkey.
A gelded donkey.
A gelded donkey, yeah. Because they're intrinsically kind of funny creatures.
How do you distinguish between a gelded donkey and your garden variety vanilla donkeys?
Vanilla donkeys.
Yeah. What's the key distinction there? Oh, if I'm looking at two donkeys,
and
I know that one of them is gelded, what am I looking for to determine the gelded one?
I don't think a gelded... Well, what you're looking for is the lack of nuts, but I don't think a gelded donkey brays. I think a gelded donkey would just go... That's like a proper donkey.
Yeah.
The gelded donkey just...
It's just like soft weeping.
Yeah, softly weeping. That's what you would use to deliver a message.
Okay.
To a feminist, I think. Yeah. To represent your shattered manhood.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most appropriate, right?
Okay.
Can you think of another one?
Well, if you're going down the gelded route, then basically any animal.
Yeah, anything that's been castrated or...
In which case, would you pick the animal that's got the most to lose from castration to, like, really hammer home the point?
A full masculinity.
Either just like the biggest animal you can find, so it's the biggest nuts are being removed, or the most masculine of animals.
What is the most masculine animal?
I mean, a gorilla springs to mind.
A gorilla's up there. A rhinoceros is up there.
Yes, rhinos are very manly.
Yeah. Maybe a rhino, because I think a gorilla it's too close. You know what I mean?
It's too close to home. This bit stops being funny.
Yeah.
When you talk about castrating gorillas.
Yeah.
Like,
it's too real.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't do that to a gorilla.
Okay.
So yeah, a debollocked rhino.
Right.
Its horn as well.
Oh yeah. Because
ivory.
Yeah, the irony of, like, I'm horny and I'm sending a message via this horned animal.
Exactly.
Which can do nothing about its perpetual horniness.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
What sound does a rhino make?
Sweet. It just bumps into something, right?
But it must make a sound.
Oh god.
It's probably like yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe he doesn't speak. Maybe he doesn't need to speak. Not speak, but admit
no, rhinos definitely don't speak.
No, they definitely don't speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go up to geld the rhino. What you doing?
Like he sounds quite a feat. What you doing? Away!
Alright. Get him off me!
Okay, so a dehorned, debollocked rhino is the animal that you would use to deliver a message.
The animal of feminism, yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we got that off the table.
Good, yeah.
It's episode 50.
It's episode 50, yes.
Yeah. We tried, didn't we?
We gave it a go.
Yeah, we tried to make it special.
Yeah, the plan was we were going to get drunk. Mm-hmm. We brought on a friend.
Yeah.
A friend that we thought, we like this friend.
Yeah, he has some history with the podcast.
He has some history with the podcast that we're not going to disclose because...
In case he appears on a future episode. Well, just in case he appears on a future episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we all got drunk, we all started recording, and 4 hours later, nothing had happened, so we stopped.
No, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
A total mess.
Yeah.
4.5 hours.
It turns out that recording drunk isn't the instant win that you would think.
I don't think that was the problem necessarily. I think it was just... That was part of it. But the things that we were doing to make it special don't work in a purely audio context.
I think that was part of it as well.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where we started playing...
a quiz that we invented.
Yeah, like a variation of a quiz that we've invented. Yeah. And we kind of realised very quickly, this doesn't really translate to audio that well.
No. Like, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Yes.
But no one else would.
No.
I don't think.
And just in case you think we don't have standards, we have enough standards.
Yes.
That we can go, well, that was a fun 4 hours, but this has no value to anyone.
Yes.
Other than us.
Absolutely.
So we're just not going to release that one.
We're not going to do it.
No.
Yeah, but we did try. We tried to make
we tried to make it an event. We tried to make it an occasion. We tried to make it different. This is a lesson we've learned long ago. Don't try and be spontaneous. Don't try and be different.
No, I mean, spontaneity is okay. I think it's just... I brought up Ben Shapiro on that recording that no one will ever hear about, when they reached their 1,000th episode. He basically said, my staff really care, I don't. We're just going to plod on as normal.
Right.
And I really respected that, especially for the 1,000th. But, we kind of fetishize our own content a little bit. And, it's 50, we have to do something special. But I was torn between that and let's just not do anything. Let's just crack on as normal.
Yeah. So we tried doing the special thing.
We tried doing the special.
And it failed miserably.
And it failed.
So
now we're just going to crack on
we're
as
just
normal.
plodding on as normal.
Yeah.
Including waiting, quarter of an hour to do the coming up? Mm-hmm. So should we just do that now?
Let's do it now.
Okay. Coming up on today's episode.
Scott Cawthon, Five Nights at Freddy's and Children's Eateries.
We talk about Jon Stewart's appearance on Stephen Colbert.
Basecamp's trendsetting policy.
We talk about Rugrats and the Rugrats reboot.
We get a special guest on the line.
And we review Freaky.
Well, okay, should we start with one of your areas of discourse?
Go on.
I believe the gentleman's name is Scott Cawthon.
Oh, yes, okay. So this is a thing that's been happening recently.
Tell the story.
You are familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's at the very least, aren't you?
I'm familiar with it, yes.
Yes. Were you aware of the fact that Scott Cawthon is the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's? Okay. It's probably an indication of how much you know about Five Nights at Freddy's.
I know... okay, so my cousin, who I guess is now 12-ish... he's obsessed with it, but he's never played it.
Okay.
I think there's a community on YouTube where people just watch animations of it. So he's kind of familiar with the lore, and he loves drawing the characters, and he knows it's a scary game that he's not allowed to play.
Right, okay.
But he's obsessed with it, so I was kind of aware of it, and I knew that it was set in a Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant. But that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that Scott Cawthon is probably as big a character of Five Nights at Freddy's than anyone actually in the games.
Okay.
He is, I think, basically the first, until Help Wanted, which was a VR game that came out maybe 2 years ago now, he basically developed every game on his own.
Right.
They're not the most difficult games in the world to develop, because most of them are basically just a series of still images, and then when the jump scare happens, you see the 3D model of the animatronic for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
But yeah, he did all of the development, he built all of the models, he did all of the voice acting. I think his children were the playtesters.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was a proper homegrown production.
Yeah.
And the story of Scott Cawthon
is a bit of a gaming auteur, is he?
Yeah, that's another thing as well. That's sort of another reason that he kind of stands out amongst the pack is that one of we've had conversations before, I don't know specifically on the podcast, but just in general about are video games art? Where do they fall on the spectrum of art?
Yes.
And I think one of the general points against video games being considered art is that they don't typically have auteurs.
Yeah.
You have a couple, like Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, he's the one that springs to mind.
Yeah, like Metal Gear Solid, and he's done that, and you've got Suda 5-1, I think, is another one where he does these bizarre Japanese style games, and there's other ones as well that
who did Shadow of the Colossus? Who did that?
Oh, what's his name? I mean, that's an instance where the studio is sort of taking on the role of
the studio,
auteur.
because they did a game after that was also
they've done three.
That. Yeah,
they've done three. Eco,
that's the one.
Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian.
And they're all highly acclaimed.
They're all highly acclaimed. Okay. They're all basically set in the same world. They've all got very similar tones.
Okay.
There is a guy, one specific guy, I think, who was sort of the father of those three games.
Okay, but it's more like Pixar or A24.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. It's more common in video games to have that, where the studio is sort of the auteur.
Okay.
Devolver Digital's a perfect example. Every Devolver Digital game that comes out.
Valve,
Valve are a good example. But yeah, every Devolver Digital game that comes out, they're kind of these high-octane, pixel-animated games that sort of have this kind of VHS aesthetic to them.
Okay.
Retro 80s music, very kind of anarchic sense of humour, all very similar in style and tone. But yeah, Scott Cawthon is one of the rare examples of a straight-up solo auteur in the video game world. And I think because he developed the games by himself, that's how he sort of became so integrated into them. Because Yeah, as you pointed out, like there are a large portion of Five Nights at Freddy's fans and just people who engage in the franchise in general who've never played a single game. I'm one of those people. I wouldn't consider myself in the community.
Yeah.
I've never played a single game, but I do follow the discussion around those games.
Well, they're iconographic, aren't they? I think is what helps. Like they have, I think because of the nature of the animatronics, they're instantly iconic in a way.
Oh, yeah.
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 Like because it's small as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a way that's kind of like... I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese. I think I've been to restaurants where they've had...
We've been to those, like the UK equivalent.
Yeah, like besuited
Bruce the Bear?
Bruce the Bear. Bruce the Bear used to terrify me.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, if Bruce the Bear came around to say hello, I would hide under the table. Or I would make sure that I was in the play area if I knew that he was on patrol, so that I could just hide in the ball pit or something.
That's kind of like the UK equivalent, isn't it? We have those... old warehouses that have been converted to these children's adventure playgrounds and things.
Yeah.
Used to love those places.
Yeah. Not the mascots that roamed. I wasn't a huge fan of those.
Really had a problem with mascots, just the sense that they weren't for me.
Right.
Like I knew what they were. You know what I mean? I kind of like I don't think I was ever scared of everything. But I was never scared of mascots. It was just like I have no interest in what you want to take a picture of me, like who are you? Like what is this?
What, you trying to steal my bank details? I'm on you fucking bear.
Fishing for my personal info. Yeah, Bruce the Bear. I just remember like the logo, the emblem for it.
Yeah, and I remember there was one restaurant in particular, a Bruce the Bear chain restaurant that we went to, where there was a machine that had a Monsters Inc. video game.
Oh, right.
Always in the corner. And I never played it for whatever reason. I would just watch the... You know, they usually have like the demo... playing, where it's like just an example of someone playing the level. I'd watch those, but I'd never play it. When
I was a child, when we used to go on holiday, usually from Bristol, I think, there was a House of the Dead arcade game.
Oh, right.
House of the Dead 2, I think it was.
Okay.
And that, I remember like every time we went on holiday, I would fixate on that because it would terrify me.
Yeah.
What's the name of the famous zombie? Is there like... The one famous zombie from the House of the Dead franchise.
He's got like hatchets, right?
I think he's got like slicked backed hair, like really thin, slick backed hair.
Oh, I don't know.
He's the one that was always in like the demos.
Yeah. I know there is like a sort of mascot zombie, if you will.
Yeah. It might not be him, but yeah, this would have been like late 90s.
It's not Wicked K, because that's Darksiders. I can't remember his name.
But I think that's what childhood is, right? A lot of the time. It's like you keep going to these same places, and there's this thing or game off in the corner that you never ever play.
Yeah.
You just look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's always connected with that place, but you never actually experience it.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of the reason why I never played the Monsters Inc. game. It's like, well, that's the game I don't play.
Right.
Because I've never played it.
Yeah.
So I just don't play it.
It's just furniture.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Yeah.
Almost. You go to this place, you're scared of the bear, and you don't play the video game. That's what that place is to you. Those places are pretty much dead by now, right? I don't think they do the mascot thing anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's just been out of our frame of reference for such a long time.
It has.
We wouldn't know.
But like every Bruce the Bear restaurant that I've known has turned into something else, and there was like a soft play centre near where I live that's long since gone. So I think places like that.
I suppose the grim reality is screens.
Maybe.
When you go to a restaurant, kids are just on tablets.
Is it that, or is it like a health and safety thing? It's like, we can't allow our kids to climb 2 stories on this climbing frame.
No, because there are places like that still around. There's one in, it's called the Red something.
The Red Door?
The Red Door, what's that?
Oh, it's a community reference.
Oh, okay.
L Street.
Oh, right, yeah.
I just spoiled that episode for people. They won't know that I spoiled it, but I did just spoil it for you. Sorry.
They'll forget.
Okay.
There are still places like that. But no, I think that's in terms of like the mascots coming around. That's twee. When you can look at anything on YouTube, who cares about a bloke in a bear costume?
Yeah,
you know. I mean, like McDonald's. My memory of that from childhood is all the characters. It was Ronald McDonald. It was like the little purple thing.
Grimace.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. He was like a purple triangle almost.
Kind of like a blob.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, all those characters like along in the design of the restaurant.
You know, that's weird. That's one of those things that always kind of... I think I just missed that.
Right.
In the UK. I missed the era where McDonald's was like proper appealing to children. Like it was... Because when I watched Super Size Me, I watched that for school because we were doing a thing on it. And I remember them showing like McDonald's in America that had like these entire playgrounds, and Ronald McDonald would be walking around, or Grimace would be walking around, and like the people who were speaking on behalf of McDonald's were saying like, oh no, it's not just a restaurant. We want McDonald's to be part of your childhood. We want you to have these memories associated.
We're a family.
Yeah, we're a family, and that was alien to me. That concept, like, well, McDonald's is just the place you go to get the food. So I don't know if the UK just never had that.
No, it did.
It did.
It did. Not to that extent, obviously. No. Like that American fucking... It's Disneyland.
Yeah.
No, never that. But definitely, like, they would have colouring books and stuff like that. It is for kids. It should be for kids. Like, well, I say that. It's crappy food. It's not overindulgence.
No.
But, like, that sort of food. I used to associate McDonald's with... I used to go to... On the estate in Nankaru. You go to Showcase, and then you go to McDonald's afterwards.
Yeah.
That was, like... the weekend.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you had like 6 chicken nuggets and, you know, food, like kid-sized portions.
There might be something to it, though, because I think McDonald's is definitely something you outgrow.
Well, it just mutates.
Well, yeah, your relationship changes to it. Like, when you're young, it's like, oh, I want McDonald's, I like McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then when you hit 18, you go there because it's cheap, and you go there after you've been drinking.
Yeah.
And you're drunk, and you hangover, and you need food.
Yes.
But then when that sort of starts to subside, because we're there now, Sam, we're in...
Don't say that yet. We've had the last 2 years robbed from us.
We have. But outside of that context, I feel like once you kind of turn 18, your relationship with McDonald's is like, I don't know what to do for food.
It's just something to fill you after.
It's like a last resort.
Like, it's open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I suppose the next step is you take your kids to McDonald's.
Yes, and then the horrible cycle begins anew.
Indeed. It's anyway, not going away, is it?
Back to
Scott Cawthon.
Back to Scott Cawthon, back to Five Nights at Freddy's, yes. So yeah, there is this whole community around Five Nights at Freddy's that don't play the games, but there's spirited conversation around it.
Yeah.
Because Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those franchises that seems to be indulging in this trend of showing, not telling.
Okay.
But like... extreme showing, not telling. Like, it doesn't tell you anything.
Okay.
It just kind of shows you stuff that's seemingly disconnected, and it's something you have to piece together after the fact. Okay. So, like, in the very first Five Nights at Freddy's, what just happens is that you are confronted with 5 nights where you have to survive the animatronics come into the office and they're about to kill you. But if you look at, like, certain cameras, then you'll see, like, newspaper clippings on the wall saying 5 children have gone missing.
Right.
And that lines up with the amount of animatronics.
Okay.
And I think one night when you're receiving instructions from presumably your boss, he's saying like, yeah, customers have started complaining about the smell coming from the animatronics. They said it's almost like they haven't been cleaned out recently. It's details like that being thrown in.
All Easter eggs, basically.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Andrew Stanton TED talk where he says, never give the audience 4, give them 2 + 2.
Yes.
Because they will get to 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem with Scott Cawthon, because that's not a bad way to do a story.
That's a good way of doing it.
As evidenced by the fact that there is an entire subculture that has grown around just figuring out what's going on.
Speculative, kind of around mythology. And
So, he did these games, and he did them very quickly. I think on the anniversary of the first game, the 4th game came out.
Right.
So he's very quick in the way that he was releasing
the 1 year anniversary.
The 1 year anniversary of the first game, the 4th game came out. But yeah, so like I think the 3rd game was like, that's the final game. You have all of the answers, you have everything you need.
The trilogy.
Yeah, you have 2 + 2, now work out 4.
Right.
The problem is people were working out 3 and 5.
Okay.
There were like details that weren't quite adding up. So then Five Nights at Freddy's after that seemed to become this, and this was never officially confirmed. I think this is just the generally accepted, this is probably what happened. Every game that came out after that, it always seemed to address whatever like overhanging thread was like, this question is unanswered. Right. The next game would directly address it.
Okay.
And then the game after that would address the threads that sprung up because that one was something else was unanswered.
Okay. See, he never learnt the lesson of if there is logical inconsistency that's not deliberate.
Yeah.
You write it off as ambiguity.
Yes.
You never learnt that lesson. You go, look, who am I? I'm just a writer. I don't know the answers to everything.
Yeah.
You never learnt that lesson.
I mean...
Yeah, because that's the thing. We talked about this before. You give an inch of context, and that leads to a new question. Leads to a new question. And so he keeps trying to address all these different things. It's going to create an infinite...
Yeah.
You know.
And that's the benefit with keeping the franchise small. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's is his golden goose. He's made no secret of the fact that like he used to make he made tons and tons of video games, like Christian-based games, and just like I think the game that inspired Five Nights at Freddy's was like Chipper and Sons, which was just like, oh, it's this fun game for children. And one of the major criticisms was the characters in this are fucking scary.
Right.
They look like lifeless animatronics. So he then took that and was like, fine, I'll make a horror game. And that turned into Five Nights at Freddy's. So Five Nights at Freddy's is his golden goose, but I trust him enough that he's not just like cynically milking the franchise.
He probably doesn't have to.
No, like at this point he probably doesn't. Like he's so the things that he does do not suggest a greedy man.
Okay.
The amount of charity work that he seems to do. Like I think there was a streamer called Dorco. There's like three, we'll come back to this later because we are getting to the point of all this. There's three major figures in the Five Nights at Freddy's community that I have noticed, and that's Markiplier, MatPat, and Dorco. Markiplier is the guy who originally played Five Nights at Freddy's, whose playthrough basically brought Five Nights at Freddy's to the public.
Okay.
It blew up, it got insanely popular, everyone started playing it, and that started the popularity of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
MatPat is the guy who started doing the theories, and he kind of kickstarted that culture of, what does it all mean? What's it all about? What is this story? What are these details?
Right.
And Dorco is kind of the sycophant. He's the one that I like the least.
Is he the cynic?
No, he seems to like actually genuinely like it.
No, I don't mean cynic as in like he's contemptuous of the games. I mean, is he cynically being sycophantic so he can rake in the moolah?
Well, do you remember, maybe it was last E3. No, it wasn't the last E3. The E3 before.
Okay. Well, you're really going to have to remind me.
Not even that. I showed you a trailer to the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's game, and I showed you somebody reacting to it.
Vaguely,
and they basically just screamed the whole way through.
That seems
oh my god!
That seems like a trend, I must say.
Yes, but this one was particularly awful, which is why I showed it to you.
Yeah.
And I think you threw something at me afterwards. Like, never show me this again.
Yeah, I do have, gaming is such a weird thing for me. We've talked about it before, but there are games I love. And Gamergate, I'm with the gamers, I have nothing against gaming, really. But there are so many aspects of the culture of it that I am just so contemptuous of. Just all that, the faking the reactions.
Yes.
Because obviously people do that for music,
Yeah.
And it's just cringy. I don't know how anyone buys it.
No.
You see the comments, and a lot of them, okay, some are bots, but some are just people going, oh my god, it was so hilarious when he freaked out at 1:19.
Yeah.
Like, get a life. Get a life, for God's sake.
There was one, and I'm not sure whether it was a parody or not, but because it was like in this... this collage of montages, and I think it was just reacting to like, oh, this character's been revealed in this game, and somebody was doing that thing where they were like screaming like, oh my god, and they just like they walk off screen quite casually, and they come back with a electric razor, and they just start shaving off their hair.
God's sake!
Like as he's screaming, he's just like quite casually just shaving his hair. Like oh my god!
It's like a reductio ad absurdum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like that video. My brother freaks out. I can never remember what it's called. But, when it's that, the guy, they've, banned him from his console or whatever, and he storms into his bedroom, and he starts, thrashing about on the bed, and then he gets, a TV remote, and he tries shoving it up his arse.
Oh, right, yeah.
Into pure, throes of, just, like Surge. Like, you just got to, react in every whim that's occurring to him.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. Like, it's a reductio ad absurdum, oh my god, and then just start, scraping his skin off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just all that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Dorco's one of those where just every game he's playing, it's like, oh my god, guys, this is so amazing, you guys.
Right.
But he's done go on.
Very quickly to throw Ben Shapiro back in, because his company made him do some Ben Shapiro reacts to videos. Oh, yeah. And it's like the Batman trailer and all that stuff. And he has a just genuine human reaction, which is he looks at it, has to say something, because that's the video, and this looks pretty good. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I like that thing that, like any normal person. Have you ever watched a trailer that was so good that you freaked out, or that you had the only time I think I've ever watched anything other than laughter or crying, visceral reactions, was Breaking Bad, the season 4 finale. I remember eating a bacon sandwich.
Yeah.
And Hector blew up. Gus walks out with the explosion. I dropped the bacon sandwich. My mouth agape in astonishment. That's the closest I've ever gotten to having a big... But I don't think that's because I'm a reserved, stoic human being. I think that's just how you react when you experience something.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, You're not a child.
No.
No.
Well, presumably not.
No, yeah. So carry on.
No, so like Dorco, he did like a charity stream. He's done multiple charity streams. They all have, in fairness, but I think he did this one particular stream where his goal was something like $10,000. I'm going to raise $10,000 for this children's hospice charity, I think it was. And Scott Cawthon just showed up and donated him the $10,000. Right. He was just like, there you go. You know, they deserve it better than me. Go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's big on his charity work. He's also big, this is where we're getting to it now, on his donations.
Okay.
To Republican candidates.
I see.
And this came out recently, that Scott Cawthon has been donating money to...
I was going to say, so when you say he's big on that, is it publicly?
I don't know how public he was with it, because when it was quote-unquote revealed, it was as if like, you know, it was like this leak, this like big discovery. It's like, oh, it's this thing he didn't want you to know. Right. But look, here is like the donations that he's been giving to Donald Trump and... Not Malcolm McDonald. There's like a politician. It's like MM. It's a Republican.
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell. Right. He donated to Mitch McConnell and like a couple of other people as well. It's like, look, he's given all the money to all of these Republicans. Right. And very quickly we saw a franchise that once hailed him as like, oh, he's such this, you know, he's this, you know, some people were like, oh, he's such a good, he has all these great ideas. He's such a good writer, which is like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's has some good ideas. It has some bad ideas. It's been going off the rails a bit recently. Okay. I think the most recent game, like Scott Cawthon was actually introduced as a character in lore. Oh, right. Because like the Help Wanted VR game was like, oh, we know that there are these like indie Five Nights at Freddy's games that have been created, which are deliberately there to tarnish the reputation of the restaurant. Right. But all of that's bullshit. And because we're not afraid of laughing at ourselves, we're going to recreate those games for you now. Right. While we sue the indie creator, which is Scott Cawthon. Because they even used his picture and everything. Right. Which I think that ends up being bullshit. Because the VR game, it's basically this front by the Fazbear Corporation. Right. To, I think the soul of the guy who originally created the animatronics, who has since died, is like embedded in the code of the game. Right. And by completing the game, you set him free. The word I'm getting from all this is kayfabe. Or kayfabe, however you pronounce it. Yeah, that's a word that he needed to... needed to learn. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean by he's as much a character as... I mean, in that instance, he's literally a character. Yeah. But he is so synonymous with the franchise that nobody bat an eye at him literally becoming a character in that world. But yeah, all of these people who were like praising his charity work and talking about how clever he was and how cool his ideas were and the creativity and the marketing and everything like that, all of a sudden we were starting to see people turn on him very, very quickly. Right. It's like, I can't believe that Scott Cawthon would betray his LGBTQ fans by giving their money to Republican candidates that want to kill them. Sure. And shit like that. Right. That's a slightly... I'm pretty sure I have seen shit like that. That's not even hyperbolic. That's the thing. Like, yes, the content is hyperbolic, but as a generalized reaction, no, that sounds about right. Well, I think I literally saw the other day a video from Jim Sterling. I think that's his name now. Right. Somebody I used to watch. Very left-leaning. Now you know somebody that I used to watch. Go on. Somebody. There you go. Yeah, he was somebody that I used to watch, but he was very clear that he had very left-leaning opinions. And when that started to come, I think it was always there in his content, but when I started to notice it more and more, I was like, you're just kind of saying the same things over and over again now. I don't feel like I'm gaining any value. So I stopped watching his videos. But he recently did a video on Scott Cawthon, and I found out that in the interim, he's come out as non-binary, and now he's dressing as a woman. It's like, oh, okay. There's a British influencer, I don't know if you saw the video, that's come out as Korean. Yeah, what's that all about? I have no idea. Because they like K-pop. Okay, is that allowed? No, you can't be transracial. Well, I was going to say, like, obviously, people who don't agree with that stuff anyway would not approve. But do people who usually agree with that kind of stuff approve? No, I think the whole Rachel Dolezal thing, like, you can't change your race. I think that's a big no-no. Okay. Yeah. Your gender, sure. Right. But race, I think even amongst the... In fact, I think it's probably even considered worse amongst the liberal elite. Because the right-wing thing generally is, why not? If you can fucking change your gender, you might as well be able to change your race. Why not if it's all malleable? Yeah. Whereas no, there's something about race, at the moment especially, because it's so toxic. It's on the pride flag now, isn't it? Is that what those extra colours, they are for race, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On like military bases and stuff.
That's the thing. I thought that was just like, oh, that's another one of America's weird like phases that it's going through.
Yeah.
But no, I went to Tesco's like the other day and it's up in Tesco.
Well, that flag?
That flag, yeah.
Where?
In Tesco.
Yeah, well, where?
Oh, the big one.
Not what Tesco, where in Tesco is it?
Like at the front. Like as you walk in, it's hanging from the ceiling. A few of them.
Hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Of those flags?
Yeah. Yeah, the race and the
Jesus
rainbow one.
Christ.
It is genuinely everywhere.
Okay. Things are just getting worse.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like with this Scott Cawthon, like the Jim Sterling video, that was like the thrust of his video, because like I think the title was something like "Why the Five Nights at Freddy's Man is a Bad Person," something like that. And he spent he started out by saying Scott Cawthon has donated to these candidates, and then he spent the next 50 minutes just trashing those candidates.
Right.
It's like, oh, Donald Trump, he incited those riots, and Mitch McConnell, he's basically said that he wants to kill all gays and shit like that. Like there was a woman, like a Republican woman, who said that all trans people were abominations, and she said that they should not be allowed to wear clothing intended for men. But I think when she said that, she was wearing a blazer, so everybody went, "Oh, you're a hypocrite."
Sure.
Because
it's stuff like this
and all that shit.
Do you remember that Stuart Lee bit about vomiting into the gaping anus of Christ?
How could I forget, Sam?
And then the whole kind of punchline of that is when you try and enforce restrictions on free speech, certain people, often against their best interests, their better judgment, will be forced to test those restrictions. I wonder if he'd say the same thing about now, actually. But anyway, that's a separate point. It makes me want to say horrible things just because I can, and fuck you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, things I don't even believe. But just the worst thing I can think of, because fuck you.
It doesn't make me want to say horrible things, but it does put me in a position where I go, like, something that I would never typically have done. Like, after all of this backlash came out against Scott Cawthon, one of my initial responses was genuinely, I might have to start buying those games now.
Okay,
just
I get what you mean. Not like
just
that.
like to show
ideological kind of support. Almost.
Yeah, because like there are, in fairness, a lot of people in that community and in general that were standing with him. There was a hashtag "I stand with Scott" that was circulating for a little while.
Yeah,
but no, just like the fact that I'd been a part of that conversation for so long. I'd followed that game since its inception, but I'd never donated a penny to it.
Yeah,
it felt like, oh well, if there was ever a time. Now feels like when people are abandoning the franchise in droves out of principle. This feels like the time to start supporting it.
Yeah, I mean, like there are people on YouTube and stuff that I've, Sam Harris and all that I've consumed basically everything they've ever done, but I've never given them a penny.
Yeah,
like even his podcast, because he has a system where like if you send them an email saying you can't afford it, they'll just give it to you for free, and that's what I do. Yeah. I actually can't afford it, but like I do that, and every year just say if you can't afford it, then just tell us again and we'll renew your subscription. But yeah, he's never had a penny of my money. Like, he deserves some of my money.
Oh, yeah.
So I understand that impulse. No, I just mean, like, we've talked about it before. I don't know if we have on the podcast. These college campuses where, like, you have to be so careful and tiptoe and pussyfoot. And if you say this, it might suggest a microaggression.
Yeah.
I just want someone to go up on the stage and say, all of this is in air quotes now, nigger. Nigger, 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 nigger. Because you know what's going to happen? No one's going to die. No one's going to shatter.
Yeah.
Black people aren't going to crumble into dust. It's a horrible thing to call someone. It's a horrible thing to say in most contexts. But that's the worst thing society... That's the thing society considers the most taboo, right? That word.
Yeah.
And if someone says it, the world's not going to end. So when you tell me, like, oh, he's betrayed all the people... I just want to come on here and say, go fuck yourself, faggots.
Right.
But the thing that I would never say.
Calm down, Sam?
No, but you know what I mean? It's just like, because I can say it.
Yeah.
Don't buy the guy's games then, if that's how you really think.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're buying the games. I find it interesting that, like, the LGBTQ community is the thing that they picked up on.
Okay, well, is that a big thing in gaming?
I don't know, because, like, he donated the money to these candidates, and he delivered a post on Reddit, basically saying, this has happened. As a result, people are doxing me. They're threatening to come to my home. My wife is pregnant. She's terrified. Right. So I feel like I have to make this statement. I am not going to apologize for anything that I've done, because I believe that it was in my best interest and in the best interest of the country that I vote for the people that I thought would do the best for this country. And I believe I did that. He said, like with Donald Trump, I thought that Donald Trump would do great things for our economy, and he would be an integral part of the conversation with our enemies. And I think during his time, the American economy started doing better.
Until COVID.
And then he brokered that peace treaty in the Middle East that got him a Nobel Peace Prize nomination. So like, he wasn't wrong.
No, he wasn't wrong.
But no, Trump is anti-LGBTQ, so that means Scott Cawthon is LGBTQ.
Anti.
Yes, anti-LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And Scott Cawthon, you have LGBTQ fans, so what you've done is you've betrayed them.
Yeah, well...
It's weird that that's the thread, because everyone who talks about this brings this up. Dorco, going back to Dorco again. Out of Markiplier, Matt, Pat, and Dorco, he seems to be the only one who's delivered any response to this issue. Right. Very, wishy-washy milquetoast response. Where it's like, I'm a white cis guy, so I don't feel like I can really have this conversation about the LGBTQ community. I respect their rights. I respect... equality and all that. I genuinely do believe that. And if you don't want to play the games anymore because you feel offended, that's completely within your rights. Right. I think the only thing really of substance that he said was, I've known Scott Cawthon for the past 7 years, and he's not homophobic. Okay. But I completely understand why people think that and why they think that's enough to stop playing the games.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things about these times, is people don't stand up for their friends. I think that is one of the worst things. People just completely abandoning them and just saying stuff like that. Even if he should go, he's my friend, he's not homophobic, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're just wrong.
Yeah.
Leave me as well if you want. Unsubscribe, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
People are so terrified. What was I going to say, George?
I don't know. It felt like you were about to say something.
I was definitely about to say something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, do you mean to say that out of the various things that the Republicans are accused of being... Why have they targeted the homophobic thing rather than the racist or the transphobic or the...
There must just be a large LGBTQ portion of the fan base.
There must... Well, just in gaming. There must... Because there is that strand in gaming, isn't there?
Well, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a furry breeding ground, as it were. It's one of those franchises where, because they're anthropomorphic animal characters, despite the fact that they're robotic, they're not real animals... There's plenty of fan art of those animals.
Sexualized.
Yes.
Yeah. As I think said on the thing you'll never hear, the Tumblrocracy.
The Tumblrocracy.
Yeah.
Tumblrocracy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that those two, there's a correlation between homosexuality and being a furry. What I'm saying is that there is a portion of the community.
Yeah, there's straight and then there's everything else. They're all in the same camp, aren't they?
And if you only consider the furries, there is a lot of everything else in the fandom.
We are not saying that we consider them all the same. If you're gay, but it's all the same. No, but LGBT, that whole idea is there's straight and then there's everything else. Let's ally everything else together
against straight.
Yeah, or at least in distinction to straight.
Yeah.
So yes, furry, anything deviant,
Deviant in the sense that it's a deviation from being straight, not that it's a deviant lifestyle.
Deviant lifestyle, no. Yeah, anything that's a deviation or anything that's... all furry is a deviant lifestyle. Anything that's a deviation or aberrant. Okay. Anything that's not the norm.
Right.
Yeah. And that covers gay all the way down to, people that fuck children's feet. I don't know. No, furry is it is deviant. That whole the unicorns and all that, these little subcultures, and what are they called, bronies, and they're fucking disgusting. Yeah, horrible. Yeah, so we don't consider them the same. Gay is its own thing. I respect gay. I've got no problem with gay. Furries are a different thing. I'm sorry. You do what you want.
Yeah.
But I have the right to think it's fucking weird.
Okay.
It must just be that. There's the big overlap in the Venn diagram between that and gaming. Because, I don't know. I assume, obviously, a lot of black people play games, but there's probably not a community of black gamers.
I don't know. I really don't.
You know what I mean? In the same way that there would be LGBTQIA plus P.
There's a 2 in there now, isn't there?
What, squared or 2?
No, it's gay squared.
Gay squared. Yeah.
How does that work?
Gay squared.
If you're gay squared, aren't you just straight again?
I suppose that would be minus gay. If you're gay squared, you're very gay, right?
Well, I don't know how the
it's gay times gay.
Yeah, gay multiplied by gay.
Yeah, so you're not multiplying by a negative. You're multiplying by 1, really.
Right.
So
okay.
Gay by gay, you just end up gay.
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like the fact that you're the fact that there's 2 of them, they cancel each other out, and you become straight again.
Yeah.
But no, you're just more gay.
Yeah.
You're twice as gay if you're gay squared.
Yes.
But you don't evolve to. It's not like like in the matrix of gay. Gay is like 1, lesbian is 2, transgender is 3. So it's not like gay times gay equals lesbian.
Oh, no.
It's just gay times gay equals
you
more
become
gay.
more what you are.
Okay.
You don't advance along the hierarchy or whatever, the lowerarchy. That's what I would consider.
Oh dear.
No, gay is fine.
I regret bringing this topic to you now, Sam.
Gay and lesbian, homosexual, fine with me. Bisexual, fine with me. And that's that.
Okay.
Anything else is not real. Right. It's made up.
Okay. Well, Scott Cawthon has probably never held these values, but this is what he has been accused of holding.
Well, he made Christian games. So what's the big shock here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was something that he said in his... I was going to read the Reddit post to you, but it's a very long post.
Okay.
I do recommend it because he's very thorough in his kind of... He definitely... It's not some kind of wishy-washy, like, I don't really...
Didn't you say, though, that he kind of sort of... Not apologised.
He didn't apologise. That was the thrust of it, is that I'm not going to apologise.
Okay.
And you can cancel me if you want, but I am Republican, I am Christian, I am pro-life.
Okay.
I am not going to apologise.
Okay, that's fine. But like you said, he wrote about all the charities he donated.
He brought up the charity work, and he said that like he's been developing games for the past 7 years, and in that time he has worked with people from all walks of life.
Okay.
Not by design. That's how it's worked out.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that's how it should be.
Right.
That you work with the best people.
Yeah,
and it doesn't
regardless.
Matter, it doesn't matter what walk of life they come from.
Yeah.
That's coincidental. So I have, I've collaborated with people of the LGBTQ community and people of certain, of another race. And it has no effect on me whatsoever. Those kind of caveats were in there. But yeah, he does conclude it by saying, this is who I am. I don't apologise for it. Stop harassing my wife.
Right.
Cancel me if you want.
Okay.
Which, fair fucking play to the guy. In a world where it feels like you do anything that anyone somewhere decides is offensive now, you have to apologise. No apology.
Well, it reminded me of J.K. Rowling.
There's a connection there as well.
What's the other connection?
The connection is that as a result of his not apologising, Scott Cawthon has now been retconned out of existence by a certain sect of Five Nights at Freddy's fans.
So who created the games according to them?
Markiplier.
Markiplier created
the guy who brought Five Nights at Freddy's to the world's attention through his Let's Play.
Shone the spotlight on it.
Is now the creator. There is no Scott Cawthon. There never was a Scott Cawthon.
Right.
Doesn't matter that he's literally canon.
Well, I'll say, so in the canon now, Markiplier.
No, like in the canon of the games. Yeah. Scott Cawthon is literally in that canon.
But like in the canon of the mythology of the games.
Oh, yeah.
Markiplier
made them. There never was a Scott Cawthon.
So, Sam's Lexicorner moment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
So it's not a revolutionary one, but because it reminded me of J.K. Rowling, I thought of the verb to roll, R-O-W-L.
Okay.
And that means when fans turn against the creator of the property of which they are a fan, they roll on it.
Okay.
And if you go whole roll, kind of like a secondary Sam's Lexicorner, that's when you rewrite the creation story.
Okay.
So it would be Dobby for the Harry Potter franchise.
Yes.
And Markiplier.
Markiplier for FNAF.
So that's a brief little Sam's Lexicorner.
Okay, so Scott Cawthon... Has Scott Cawthon been rolled on? Or has Five Nights at Freddy's been rolled on?
I suppose he has, yeah.
Scott Cawthon
has. The person has to be, rolled on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they've gone whole roll, haven't they? Because...
Yeah, in this instance, they've gone whole roll.
Retconned,
but I didn't know whether it was the franchise that was rolled or the creator.
Right, yes. I think the creator.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Rolled.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
Was there anything else you had to say about...
Well, the conclusion, basically.
Go on.
To this situation. I think it was about 5 or 6 days of this kind of like bitching back and forth of people. You got some people saying like, I stand with Scott. I don't believe that he believes the things that you're saying he believes because he's donated to these people. There were like people who were like, oh, maybe he should have done more research before he donated to the Republicans. But, you know, like, I don't believe that he's actually homophobic and racist and all that kind of stuff.
Look, it's a binary choice in in most countries. You have to pick between two things.
Yeah.
It's not like a nuanced, he's weighed up all the pros and cons, like, and I think, yeah, the Republicans tick every box. No, some of it might be begrudging. You never know.
Well, I think he even said in that post that, like, though he acknowledges the Republicans don't have the LGBTQ thing sorted, he thinks that in some cases the Democrats would actually be more detrimental.
Yeah.
Like, the Democrats either wouldn't have done as good a job, or they would have done a significantly worse job.
What, with
LGBTQ, but I don't know if he really elaborates on it. I just remember...
Well, they are worse for all that. They are worse with all that, I'll say. The Republicans don't care. Yes, there are obviously some, I'm sure, homophobic Republicans.
Oh, of course.
But by and large, they don't care what you are. Just shut up. We just don't care about you being gay.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. Do the job.
Yeah.
They are better for gay people, rather than saying that it's a moral virtue to be gay, or fetishizing it, glorifying it, lionizing it. It's not. It's just who you want to fuck. Nobody cares.
It shouldn't be you. It shouldn't be what you are.
It shouldn't be what you do.
Your entire identity, your entire being is
that.
Yeah, I am gay and I want that to be okay.
Reduced to a... Imagine that. I'm sure we've talked about that before, being so empty, really. Oddly enough. As a gay man.
The ultimate irony, yeah.
That all of your identity is tied up with that. Because I know a couple of people like that. That's all that is. Gay, gay, gay. I write about gay things and I do gay things. And it's just pathetic. But... No, it is, isn't it? It is. It's pathetic.
No, it is. The fact that, like, that's all you are.
That's all you are.
Yeah. Like, even if it's something that's very important to you, surely you would want, like, other things. You would want, like, okay, I've spent my day being, like, protesting and trying to get my rights and all that kind of stuff.
Activisting.
Yeah. I'm now going to go and chill with a hobby for a couple of hours. I'm now going to do a thing that I like. I'm now going to display nuance by doing literally anything else.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be
possible.
It doesn't appear to be what's going on.
No. And again, I like, when it comes to voting, I don't think the person against whom you mark the X should really represent anything about what you think, or you have two choices. If there were 1,000 choices and they all offered very different things, it might be a good indicator for the type of person you are, for whom you vote.
Yeah.
A better indicator. But when it comes down to two,
you're
really going to tell me that tells you everything you need to know about a person?
Yeah, exactly.
No, like...
How many people in the election just gone voted for Joe Biden purely to get Donald Trump out of office?
How many people voted for Donald Trump that also voted for Barack Obama?
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't have got into power without the Obama voters.
No, he wouldn't have.
So it's just not a good metric, I don't think, for anything, really. Anyway, yes.
So I think there was about 5 or 6 days where there was those conversations about, like, you probably should have done more research, and then there were other people saying, like, he's a terrible person, shouldn't buy the games anymore, this has ruined my childhood, this has ruined my fandom. A couple of snarky comments which were like, I guess Scott can, like, do whatever he wants, but it's interesting how he had to be outed as Republican without admitting it.
Well, it's just nobody's fucking business.
Yeah, like, you're political. I think it was somebody you were having a conversation with recently that was like, they asked what your political allegiance was.
Right.
And you said, that's kind of my business. And they said, that's something somebody who's right-leaning would say.
We were talking about the podcast, and
okay.
They said to me, what do you talk about? And I said, a bit of everything, politics, culture. And she said, what politics? And I said, well, just the politics of the day. Like, what do you mean? She said, no, like, what kind of politics? I said, there's no agenda. We have opinions and we talk about our opinions. She said, oh yeah, that's usually code for right wing.
Yeah.
And I said, I think right wing is usually code for far right.
Yeah.
That's what you mean when you say right wing.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the left wing. I'm okay with the right wing. You actually need both. Both are necessary. That the pendulum, the yin and the yang, you do need both. The far on each end of the spectrum is what we have a problem with.
Yes.
But we talked about before, right wing just means Nazi.
That's the thing.
That's very right-wing, that film.
Left wing has all of these distinctions. You have the progressive left, you have the radical progressive left.
Classical liberals.
You have classical liberals, you have Labour voters, you have Democrats, you have left-leaning, you have centre-left, and then there is right-wing.
Yeah.
And that just means far-right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll actually elaborate a little bit on that stuff later, but yeah.
Yeah, it's none of your business what his political beliefs are.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's is in no way politically charged.
No, it is not, there's nothing in there.
If the same thing had happened, but it came out that he was like donating all of the money to the Democrats, and he was this like he was big on the Democratic Party, and he was like, oh, I'm very left wing, and like, well, firstly, he would still be making games.
Yeah.
But secondly, Five Nights at Freddy's would make the same amount of sense. Like, you take that franchise in isolation, somebody who's left wing or somebody who's right wing, both could feasibly have made that game.
I think, from my limited knowledge of the game, from what I've seen of it, it could turn out the creator was a member of the Tea Party or ISIS, and they would be equally unshocking.
Yeah.
Like, because there's nothing, it's totally apolitical.
Yes, exactly. There is nothing in there whatsoever. The only thing about it is the fact that it's this kind of like, it's like child-friendly horror.
Yeah.
But it's about children being murdered and stuffed into animatronic suits.
Right.
So like a parent hearing that might go, oh no, I don't approve of that.
Okay, the only thing I could tell you about the creator of the game is, from the game itself, is that he's not an absolute Philistine, because he believes in games.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you about it.
Yeah.
That he believes in creating games. And he probably likes games.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. His politics has nothing to do with Five Nights at Freddy's. Why does it have anything to do with you?
Right.
And it annoys me that the response is, oh, well, if he was left-wing, you wouldn't have any reservation about saying what his politics are.
Probably
so
wouldn't.
why would he have these reservations about being right-wing?
That's the thing. There is a double standard. Yes, it's nobody's business what your politics are generally anyway.
No.
Left or right.
Like, if you want to reveal
if you
your
want
politics,
to, that's fine, yeah.
It's your decision.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be obligated to reveal them to people.
No, exactly. Because politics isn't everything.
No.
It actually isn't everything.
Yeah. It's like your faith. It's going around declaring that you're, like, you meet a new person. It's like, hello, I'm Catholic.
Right. Proselytizing almost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But also, it is true that if he was left-wing, he probably wouldn't have to have been outed.
No.
I don't know if he was, like, secretive and guarded about his republicanism.
I mean, he was always an open Christian.
Okay,
so
fine.
What would make me think that he probably wasn't secretive about being
No, that's fair
Republican.
enough, but I don't know whether it was a case of it's my business or I have to keep it secret also because of... but yeah, if he was left-wing, there would be no controversy. There would be no guardedness or secrecy.
Yeah.
That is true, because being revealed as being even vaguely conservative ends careers. If you're in the artistic sphere. So, if so, he had right to be apprehensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, fundamentally, it's not my business. It's not anybody's business.
No.
It's his.
Yeah, and he shouldn't have to declare it at the door.
No,
like,
exactly.
oh, I'm right-wing, by the way. We'll go away then.
Yeah.
No. Nothing to do with you.
I mean, even like there are conservative pubs, like in name, around here, like the Conservative Club. And it's not like when you go in, at the door, they go, right, what's your allegiance?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure for a friend's end of university project, I directed this kind of film turned into a play half-hour thing. And we rehearsed this play, doesn't get more liberally left-wing than that, above a conservative pub.
Yeah.
And they did it for free. They gave it to us for free.
Yeah.
So a conservative club...
Their only price was that we gave them a good review on Facebook.
Yeah.
That was their only price.
A conservative club subsidised the arts. Like, technically.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, like even nominal places like that. The Labour Club, there's one on the Broadway, the Labour Club. It's not even that when you go in, it's like, are you conservative? No, like, it's nobody's business.
No.
These places maybe once used to be exclusive. No longer.
Non-pol. There's a non-political club.
There's exactly.
Right near where I live.
And
I'm sure, like, it doesn't matter. It's like, do you want a drink? Yeah, all right, come in then.
I can so see that coming back, though. Like, maybe not Labour Conservative, but like in America, like, are you a BLM supporter? Yeah, you can come in then.
Oh, yeah, BLM pubs.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Are you signed up to BLM on Facebook? Yeah, look, okay, come on in.
Which university? There is a university that did that, right? They were offering rock climbing I think it was extracurricular. It was rock climbing classes, but they were only for people of colour.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Only for people of colour, only for gay people or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, though. Because that's so endemic. I couldn't begin to...
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so people were saying, oh, he's a bad man. People were saying, I stand with Scott. And then I think within the space of a week, he posted again on Reddit, because he's big on Reddit, because that's where, again, that's where his community is. He's not on Twitter, he's not on Facebook.
Right.
He posts on Reddit because he knows that's where the people are. So he posted on Reddit basically saying, I have decided to retire.
Right.
This is my decision. I'm in my mid-40s now. I have 6 children, one of whom is a baby. I want to spend time with my family. Goodbye, basically. No coincidence, I think. I don't think he attributed it to... He might have brought up, this thing's happened recently. But I think the general air of, I'm retiring now. That thing, we'll ignore that thing. This retirement is a separate decision of mine.
Yeah.
Or maybe, the thing that happened recently sort of accelerated.
Yes, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's all of these posts oh, thank you, Scott. You've been such an integral part of my life for the past 7 years. You've given me this franchise and I will always be thankful for it. And everyone all of a sudden was oh, I'm going to miss Scott. Oh, it's so bad that he's gone.
Right.
I don't know that it's the same people who were what a fucking bastard just less than a week ago. But if there are, fuck you, basically.
Yeah, you did this.
You did this.
It's cutting your nose off to spite your face. This is what you wanted?
Yeah.
This is what you wanted.
And it's weird because in a way, like I said, the most recent one to come out, the most recent game to come out, made him canon. So it's sort of... I don't know what that says, given that that's the last time he's going to be a part of that franchise. They actually brought him into the games.
Is it over then?
No, it's still going. There's a game coming out later this year. Another example as well of how nice he is, basically. He years ago he released this spin-off RPG that was very bare bones and rudimentary. I think it was just something he wanted to do. He's I'm just going to do this thing, and he released it. And a lot of people complained about it because it was so rudimentary. So he said, right, I am refunding everyone who has bought this game.
Right.
Whether you complained or not, everyone gets a refund. This game will be free, and it will be free forever. And I will continue to work on it despite the fact I'm making no money on it whatsoever. And most recently, the game that's coming out this year, Security Breach, I think it's called, that was supposed to be coming out, I think it was supposed to be out by now, but they had to delay it for further development. So he created a spin-off game.
Right.
As an apology. A free spin-off game.
Very Christian of him.
Very Christian of him. Yeah, he's just he clearly gives a shit about people.
I'm
so for a not insignificant part of that fan base to immediately reject him.
I'm kind of torn, because on one hand, they quote-unquote won. Yeah. And they destroyed, they got rid of him.
He wasn't cancelled, but I think he got out before
you know what I mean? Yeah, he's fuck this. But in a sense, they got rid of him. But also, if he's a multi-millionaire, which he probably is, and he's got his wife and his kids, do it. Yeah. If you can retire, you don't need this shit.
I think
leave it behind you.
Someone posted a list, maybe in response to this Republican thing. They posted a list of all his philanthropy over the past few years, and it's in the millions. The amount of he's donated to charity.
He's donated in millions,
yeah.
But retire. Yeah. You don't need this bullshit. Get out.
No. But yeah, we got another game in development. There's books being written all the time, short stories. He's got a film in development. All of the marketing, all of the law, all of the everything has all been down to him. I think the film was originally registered with Blumhouse, and he hated all of their ideas, so he just took it off them.
He hated Blumhouse's ideas. That's interesting.
Yeah,
because they're all right.
Sometimes they're all right. Yeah. I don't know whether he's with Blumhouse now and he was with another company first.
Right.
But he went to a film company. They bought the rights. He hated all their ideas. He was like, "Fuck you! I'm going to take it with me."
Right.
And he did. He took it off him.
Right.
That's how creatively in control this guy is. And now we've got a game, a film, and God knows how many books that at the moment are just kind of well, the main creative head is gone.
Right.
And he said he's going to appoint somebody to continue the franchise without him. I do think that, I don't know, it felt like we were transitioning into a new era of Five Nights at Freddy's anyway, because the lore had become so convoluted. It was starting to look like they were kind of trying to course correct a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole we're canonizing the original games as fan games that were attacking the reputation of the restaurant.
Right.
Dropping the keyframes, as it were.
Yeah.
That felt like they were trying to if not retcon, then course correct a little bit. So the franchise was changing anyway.
When did it start, the franchise?
2014.
Okay, so it's way overdue for a reboot anyway.
Oh, it's way overdue for a reboot.
In our current conveyor belt culture, yeah.
But whoever takes over this franchise, I don't know what their approach is going to be. But I think the fact that ideas were good, there were good ideas and there were bad ideas, and there was some really clever stuff and there was some really stupid stuff. But the thing that always kept me coming back to Five Nights at Freddy's is that it was always interesting.
Okay.
Because there was such a consistent mix of quality. And it always seemed to be trying something new.
Yeah.
It was always interesting. And I think that that's something you can only really achieve with like a sole auteur.
Okay.
And I don't know whether it'll be a single person or a company that's in charge of Five Nights at Freddy's. But I do think Five Nights at Freddy's, in a sense, is kind of over now.
I would assume the golden age is over. And if it's not, it's not. I mean, you know, like... Noah Hawley somehow managed to do Fargo.
Yeah.
So there are people out there that could, you know, I'm sure, given his attention to the minutiae and, you know, being the creative soul kind of proprietor of this stuff, he's going to be diligent about who he picks as his replacement.
He will.
Because he still cares about the franchise.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
But yeah, assume that the best is over.
Even if it's not that. Like, I don't know what... Even if you pick someone that's like, right, we're going to make this franchise the best it could possibly be. I think even that is kind of the wrong approach.
Right.
Because it's not... Because I said, like, there's such a consistent mix of quality. And it's so... Like, part of the marketing for these games used to be that he would post images on his website where you had to download the images, mess with, like, the brightness settings and read the metadata.
Right.
And that would, like, tell you details about the game.
Okay.
That's how, like, out there that franchise got. And I worry that anyone who would take his place would just be trying to mimic that rather than doing their own thing with it.
Okay.
So that's why I think, you know, this franchise is... Who knows what who knows what the future holds for it. But I do think, in a sense, it's over now. That's kind of a shame, because, like, it clearly wasn't going to be over this soon. And it's just a shame that politics has ruined another thing for us.
Well, on that bleak note...
Okay.
Should we move on to the next thing, or is that everything you had to say
That's
about
pretty much everything. Is this less bleak?
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, I'll take something less bleak.
We'll go back to bleak.
Okay.
Did you see Jon Stewart on Colbert?
Not in its entirety, but I've seen many people bring up that Jon Stewart was on Colbert.
I love Jon Stewart. Are you a fan of Jon Stewart?
I think I am. It's been a long time since I've seen Jon Stewart, because I don't know he hasn't really been doing much. I know he's retired, effectively.
He directed a couple of films, but... Yeah.
But yeah, since he left The Daily Show, I think he's just been taking it easier. At the
you would, wouldn't you? After doing that show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, literally daily. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember, like... It wasn't early on in our friendship, but I think there was a point where it was like, Sam, recommend comedy to me.
Right.
I know that you consider yourself a scholar of comedy.
I bet.
I like to think that as well. But tell me if I've missed anything. Give me a list of comedy. And you trying to cover every... portion
film stand-ups,
every portion of the spectrum. One of the things you recommended to me was the Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Right.
And yeah, I think because they were in bite-sized segments on YouTube, and also the fact that it was Jon Stewart, so it was well written and well performed, very addictive, just clicking through.
Yeah.
Like, I watch another one, and I'll watch another one, and I'll watch another one.
And that's the thing, like, when I occasionally watch the odd video now, I don't often agree with him. You know, like, that's the thing. But it doesn't matter. He's such a compelling screen presence.
It's kind of the ideal person to have a disagreement with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you disagree on, you know that you're going to have a proper discussion about it.
Well, he's funny.
And he's funny.
He's actually funny.
He's an engaging presence. It wouldn't be boring.
No.
It's like, we'll cover all of the important stuff, but you will be bored out of your mind. It's like, no, this will be an engaging conversation.
He seems like a likable dude.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah doesn't, I must say.
I don't know how long I stuck with Trevor Noah. I don't think it was long.
A week, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, nah, this is not the same.
No.
But yeah, he went on Colbert and he was talking about the lab leak theory, hypothesis, with coronavirus from the Wuhan lab. And Colbert is clearly incredibly uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because, you know, this is... Since COVID started, anyone who's talked about it might have been a lab leak has been castigated
Right.
from the Overton windows. Like, no, that's conspiracy theories, that's right-wing nonsense, that, you know. But now The Guardian are reporting on it, you know. Turns out maybe they were right all along. And, like, even me, early on, when, like, my grandfather would say, oh, it might come from a lab.
Yeah.
It's just something you discount because it's too cinematic. It's too, like...
Yeah.
And the people who were saying it, a lot of the people that were saying it, were the same people that claimed that America didn't land on the moon and
Right.
JFK, you know, all that stuff. And you just go, oh, anything. You will believe anything as long as it's a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks like they were probably right about this one. And I love that Jon Stewart had the balls. Because it clearly wasn't planned. Colbert is not happy that they're talking about this at all. Because it's Jon Stewart, it's the guy that started his career. So there probably wasn't like a vetting, like, yeah, come on, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Do your Jon Stewart thing. And
Oh God, Jon Stewart's coming on the show. How wonderful.
He chose the opportunity to do that. Brilliant.
Yeah. There's
that one line that is like, there's been an explosion of chocolate in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Where should we check? It's brilliant. I'm glad that... I wonder how long he's been on that train, whether he's been there from the beginning.
That's the thing, you can never know, can you? Because it's it might be one of those things where, like, maybe he thought that was like, he started doubting himself. It's like, well, we would know. There would be more evidence if that were the case.
Yeah.
Or it's just a case of, like, I don't know, though. I feel like Jon Stewart's one of those people, especially now that he's out of the loop.
Yes.
He's not part of that Daily Show system.
Yeah.
He wouldn't stay quiet about something.
No.
Like, if he were to stay quiet about something, it would be because he would want to accumulate more evidence.
Right.
As opposed to, I can't say this might seem inflammatory, or I might be discarded by certain communities. Yes.
And I mean, like, you know, when you look back at his old clips, I'm sure it was the writing team that he cultivated, but I imagine a lot would have stayed with Trevor Noah. It's clearly he's a massive force engineering that, you know, like driving that ship. It's him. It was his Daily Show.
Yeah.
Vast differences in quality. Like, considering, I think it was maybe 4 days of the week, right? Monday through Thursday. The consistency of quality, it was always like really snappy, taut writing, which you'd expect it to be more, have an improvised kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And he delivered it in that way, but it's clearly like well-written observation.
Is it kind of that, like, Louis C.K. delivery, where he's delivering it as though he's kind of, like, it's off the cuff, but it's so clearly constructed.
Right.
And, like, this could only have been written.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just glad that because the audience are kind of with him, kind of not. I mean, like, Eric Weinstein has been talking about this and Brett Weinstein from the very beginning. Like, it could have been a lab leak. And it just reinforces my whole thing of, like, some conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories aren't in and of themselves to be ignored. Because some are right.
Some might, well, some at the very least come from, they're a warped, like, interpretation of the truth, but there's truth in them.
Yeah, and you've got to listen to, like, the whole idea of free speech was the guy that had the maddest idea. It might contain, I think I saw Christopher Hedges talking about this recently. A video, obviously. He was talking about free speech law regarding Holocaust denial. Because I think in France it's illegal, and maybe some other countries you can't do that.
I imagine in Germany it's probably one of those.
Maybe, yeah. But definitely in France. And
I don't know if it's illegal, but it's frowned upon, right, if you bring up the Nazis in Germany.
Oh, yeah, you're like Adolf illegal. Yeah, like, you don't talk about that.
Oh, right, okay. Proper illegal.
Yeah, you can't call a kid Adolf.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you...
Oh, yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah,
but I just mean, like, bring up the Nazis in general. Is that, like,
it's
a punishable offence, or do you just get told, like, seriously don't do that?
It's probably just, like... No, I'm sure people talk about it, but the whole political system there is, like... What's the word?
Overcorrection?
Definitely overcorrection, but has recoiled so far from it that it's engaging in nuttery on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
So, like, let all the immigrants in. Because literally, I think Angela Merkel said she couldn't have pictures of German border guards refusing immigrants at the border.
Okay.
Like, can't have those pictures because of what, you know, our history and...
Yes. Okay.
And obviously, like, the thing with... I think Douglas Murray was talking about if you read a German newspaper, it'll say something like, a person was attacked by a person in Hamburg, like, oh, it was an immigrant.
Right.
Because they're not going into the details. You know, if it's vague, it's an immigrant, and they just don't want to go into it. But yeah, that was... Yeah, Christopher Hitchens talked about Holocaust denial, and he said, there's going to be a guy in the room that says the Holocaust didn't happen, and if it did happen, if anything, the Jews brought it on themselves. So maybe that guy, there is a grain of truth to what he's saying, and he needs to be listened to, and even given more protection than the people that are saying otherwise. Why the fuck are we talking about this?
I don't know. I'm just trust.
It was a spin-off of a spin-off.
I trust that you're going somewhere with it. Well, obviously, Jon Stewart was speaking his mind, so I don't know whether that came from...
Oh, conspiracy theories, maybe? Was that the whole...
Yeah, we can't write off every conspiracy theory.
Eric Weinstein. Yeah, talking about how we need to really listen to the nuttiest people, because what they say might have a grain of truth to it.
Wasn't there, like... I mean, he says a lot of things, so... like,
Eric?
But, yeah, no. Alex Jones.
Oh, okay.
Alex Jones says a lot of things. The fact that like one thing might have turned out to be true, that's like that's not much of a victory. Because percentage-wise, he's still bonkers. Mostly wrong.
Yeah.
But wasn't there like an Alex Jones, like one of his mad theories, that it turned out that like, oh, there's actually something to this. Like he blew the whistle on.
There's been a couple of things that he's blown the whistle on that turned out to be true, but I can't remember what they are.
No, but my point is that like he's probably, if you were to like, who's the nuttiest person out there today, probably Alex Jones, right?
Generally speaking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like Trump is like, oh, Trump is evil, but Alex Jones is like, he's bonkers. Like he's a maniac.
He's probably the most popular maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends how you define maniac. Like if you're talking about Ibram X. Kendi and what's his face, Black Panther Man.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who. Not necessarily the most radical. I don't know who the most radical person is.
Yeah.
But just like, you know, oh, they're turning the fucking frogs gay.
Yes.
Like that's mad. That is a mad person.
Yeah, that's Alex Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. Trump says things, but he doesn't say anything that mad.
Not that mad.
No. Yeah. So in terms of just like a nutter, a complete nutter.
Yeah.
Alex Jones is probably up there.
Probably.
And even he has blown the whistle on a couple of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stop clock. You throw enough stuff at the wall, something's going to be...
exactly.
Something's going to stick, something's going to be right. Anyway, I just want to bring that up, like, good on Jon Stewart, basically.
Yeah. Do we think well, it's been a little while since that happened, so you'd probably have a good answer, or an answer at the very least. Has anything become of it?
Not really.
Have people hand-waved Jon Stewart off as like, oh, Jon Stewart, he's missing the limelight?
Well, the only people I've heard talk about it are conservatives. I haven't really seen it reported on...
Okay.
Because usually with this stuff you'd get Jon Stewart launches bizarre tirade.
Yeah.
No, it's just been conservatives going, I like Jon Stewart, I hate Trevor Noah, he's funny, and he's right.
Right.
Is basically all I've seen about it. So no, I think like Jon Stewart probably has enough liberal credentials. He's fortified himself against
they're not going to kick
backlash.
Jon Stewart out of the club, are they?
No, yeah. I mean, he's The Daily Show. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly more bleak.
Oh no.
Have you ever heard of Basecamp, a company?
No.
They're a tech company. I don't really know what they do because I don't really know what tech is.
Okay.
But they were the first tech company where the CEO said, we're not going to talk about politics in the workplace.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to do it.
Right.
Like you could set up your own, is a Substack, that's a thing?
Okay.
Like a messaging thing?
Possibly, yeah.
Like on the intranet, like if you want to talk about it on your own time, fine. But like in the workplace and with our customers and stuff, we're not going to talk about politics. And the reason that came about was because there was this thing floating around the office called the oppression pyramid. You familiar with this?
I'm not familiar with it.
It basically tries to chart how one thing eventually builds to the worst thing, right?
Okay.
Basically, at the bottom of this pyramid was making fun of funny names.
Okay.
Which some employees were doing. And like, I heard this on the Sam Harris podcast. The CEO is called Jason Fried. And he was talking to Sam Harris. And he was saying, and yeah, okay, I should have been more diligent as a CEO and like stamped it out. And, but like realistically, he probably didn't give a shit. Who cares if your employees are making fun of some funny names of the customers or whatever? I bring this up because you've done exactly this to me.
And unfortunately, you put me in a position where I can't reveal any of these funny names.
No.
Because that would be a breach of... I mean, it should be said, for the sake of my contract, I haven't actually told you any... None of the names I've told you are actually real.
Not at all.
No.
You're going to bleep them out, aren't you, if I say them?
Yeah, absolutely. That being one of them.
Yeah. But you've done this.
Yes.
For a brief spell.
Some people...
You were coming over my house and saying, "Oh, you'll never believe this one name today."
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's never... Forgetting that it's okay to make fun of funny names anyway. Who gives a shit?
Some people have funny names.
But also, it's just we're interested. I like people with interesting names.
It implies character. It's like, what is that person like on a day-to-day basis?
It's unique.
Yeah. Maybe this is just the writer in us talking.
Yeah, I think so.
Not the collective writer, just like us as individual writers.
Yes, yeah.
Not like the hive mind of the writer within us.
Yes.
But it's a fun exercise to be like, right, this bizarre name you've put forth to me, who is this person?
Right.
What do they do? But I think, like, I don't know if this is part of the oppression pyramid, but I think when some people will hear, like, oh, they were making fun of funny names, and they might assume, oh, so it's a racial thing.
Jamali Ibrahim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you're making fun of a foreign person's name.
Yeah.
Like, no.
No, I imagine it's like people, I don't know, called like Jiminy Flubbers or something.
Yeah,
it's going to be funny names
just
like that, isn't it?
People who clearly live in, like, the same country as you and are of a similar demographic to you. But even they just have really out there names.
But even exotic names are funny if you're not of that. Like, the most Arabic name, Mohammed bin Mohammed, is not funny.
No.
You don't laugh because it's different.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Al-Khazar is not a funny name.
No.
But there are going to be versions that are funny.
Jamil Lightbulb is funny.
Jamil Lightbulb, yeah, exactly. Abdul Karki.
Karki or car key?
Karki.
Karki.
Yeah.
Okay.
One word, but Karki. Not like the military, camouflage.
Yes,
but anyway, so at the bottom of this oppression pyramid was making fun of funny names, and at the top was genocide.
Right, okay.
And it was kind of implying that you start here.
That person's got a funny name. I want him dead.
That's where you start, and the inevitable consequence of that is genocide.
Right.
And when he saw it, he's like, that's fucking just ridiculous. No more politics in the workplace.
Yeah.
And so, applause. Very good thing.
Well, I assume they're Silicon Valley based.
The Silicon Valley, yeah.
That's not that's a bold move.
It's pretty much the leftiest place in the world, I think.
From what I hear.
Other than North Korea and stuff, whatever you think of that. But yeah, like in America at least.
Like Elon Musk seems to be an outlier in the sense that he just kind of does whatever he wants.
He does whatever he wants. He has fuck you money.
But that's the thing, he's got fuck you money.
Yeah.
Like no one is going to try and cancel Elon Musk because he can buy...
Mars.
You can buy Mars and probably already has.
Yes.
You're not going to try.
Rights to Mars.
Yeah, you can't you want to go to Mars one day? Say you're sorry. Apologize to me now.
Right.
But yeah, like as a CEO of a tech company in Silicon Valley saying no politics.
Yes.
Like that's not an insubstantial.
No.
That's not like a nothing thing.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. I think maybe a couple of companies have followed suit.
Okay.
And it's a good trend if that continues. But I think a third of his staff left.
Right.
Or boycotted, like customers boycotted it. And I was saying, not because they endorsed a particular position, just because they said, we're not going to talk about politics. So we're at the point now where you can't even not voice a political opinion.
Right.
It wasn't like you went, oh yeah, we're not.
So we're not going to not talk about politics.
Right. If you won't let us talk, we have to talk about politics, or we are leaving.
Okay.
Because I think he's not like saying this is left wing claptrap. We are a centrist. It was like no, we're not going to do politics on any side.
It's clear no good can come from this.
Right, and it can't. Politics in the workplace, no good can come of it unless you're a politician.
You might have to talk about politics in the workplace then.
A third of his staff left.
Yeah,
they walked away. I think they bounced back and they're doing all right. But I just wanted to let you know that you are on a course to genocide, Jordan.
Oh, am I?
You are.
Okay.
Yes, by making fun of these funny names.
Right. Well, they shouldn't have funny names then, should they?
No. Watch your back, mate. Because you've got a criddle coming for you.
Yeah, I'm one to talk, aren't I? Jordan Criddle.
Criddle is a funny name.
Yeah.
It is a funny name. Because it's a verb, but it just doesn't exist. It's a verb that doesn't exist, isn't it?
Exist.
Criddle. I criddled over there, I criddled over here, criddle everywhere. I have I wish I had a more interesting name.
Reese.
Not a funny name, but just something. Sam Reese.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
For that specific...
No, just next subject.
Oh, next subject.
Yes.
Oh, so that was all you wanted to say was this is a thing that's happened and that's good?
And we should commend it and you're on a fast track to genocide.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right. Glad we're all on the same page. Well, you know what I did recently?
What'd you do?
Part of the discussion... We had a discussion in the episode that we're now not releasing. And for some reason, like, generational... the phrase, is that a generational thing, came up.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was in reference to, and what it's in reference to doesn't really matter. Just that phrase came up. And I was immediately reminded of the fact that the Rugrats reboot happened recently.
Okay.
And the thing that drew the connection there for me, it was this horrifying moment where I kind of realised that the original Rugrats debuted in 1991.
Did it?
It debuted in 1991. Obviously, I was born in 1995. You were born in 94. My bank details are... reveal all of this. We've revealed our last names. We've revealed our birthdays.
Sagittarius.
Leo.
Yeah. 5'10".
I think 6.
12 inches.
2. Leg length, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third leg.
Tripod.
I'd be a 24-hour tripod. That was the IT crowd. If you want to go watch the IT crowd. Yeah, it was released in 1991. I was born after the Rugrats debuted, but it was something that I watched when I was a kid.
Yep.
Did you watch it when you were a kid?
I did indeed, yes.
Yes, and I had the horrible realization that if you were a child when the Rugrats was on and you watched the Rugrats as a child, you are now old enough, you could be those babies' parents.
Yes.
You could be Tommy's parent.
Yeah, well, like, of that age, anyway. Like, of a suitable age.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how old...
Because, like, Stu and Dee Dee, they're in their 40s, right?
Well, like, in the original, certainly.
Yeah.
They seem very, like... I don't know, like, I imagine that's a deliberate... Unless they actually say it in an episode.
Unless, genuinely, we were that young that they were supposed to be in, like, their late 20s, 30s, and we didn't...
They seem ageless.
They do. I mean, Stu's got, like, the gristle, the stubble... So, like, he seems a bit older.
Yeah.
But
yeah, how the... Like, look at, like, Dee Dee or Stu. How the fuck old are they?
Well, because there's a lot of stuff about, like, Stu going through a midlife crisis. He's got that vibe about him, hasn't he?
Yes.
So I suppose he'd have to be in his 40s, really. Or,
maybe.
Yeah, late 30s at the earliest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old that generation were when they were having children. Whether they had children later or had them earlier.
Yeah, earlier, generally speaking. Like, how old were your parents when they had you?
Like, they were in their 30s.
Oh, so it's a bit later then.
Yeah.
My mother was 24, my father was 31.
Okay.
But I think that was generally common, like early 20s, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Now it seems late 20s, early 30s is the default.
Or you slip up and have them really early.
Or really early, yeah.
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 Yeah, you don't have them early anymore. You have them really early or you have them later.
Yes.
You don't
no one settle down at 22, 23 and go, it's time now to have a child.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well...
Babies just happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit your mid-20s and like, right, my kid's off to college now.
Right.
I should probably consider, like, starting my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a horrible realization of, oh, shit.
We're the parents.
Yeah, we're the parents now.
Yeah.
Reinforced by the fact that in an episode of the reboot, Stu... Well, a couple of episodes, actually, I think. Stu is playing video games.
Right. Okay.
He's a gamer now.
How old is he supposed to be?
I don't know. This is like the weird... Because the reboot is doing the bullshit thing that all animation seems to be doing now, where it's 3D animation on a budget.
Right. Like Postman Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got that horrible, like... It's both too realistic and not realistic at the same time.
Right.
Because they've transposed... With the exception of one character that we'll get to. They've transposed the original 2D designs and they've just made 3D models of them. So Tommy is still like sort of stout and bald and Chucky has that wild orange hair. Dee Dee has those like circular green glasses and again like that like the hair that goes up and out to the side.
Yeah, the trident kind of.
Yeah. Designs that were clearly built for 2D.
Yes.
Not 3D animation.
Right.
But they've got, they do the thing that the animation used to do as well, where the characters that are wearing glasses, their eyes fill up the entire lens of the glasses.
Yeah.
So you've got the frame, and then within the frame you've got completely white and then a black dot.
Yeah.
The 3D models are doing that. But yet Spike has realistic fur.
Right.
Like realistic dog fur now.
Okay.
And Chucky's got his entire glasses are just his eyes, but his frames are clearly like you can see like the metal texturing on them.
Right.
So it's kind of too realistic.
Okay.
But
it's
also
a weird blend.
Yeah, but also because they're really stylized designs, they're not realistic enough.
Okay.
So Tommy looks like he's made of plastic.
Right.
Because he's got no hair whatsoever.
Okay.
And his eyes are just slightly sunken into his face. He looks kind of creepy, honestly. I don't know. Again, I don't know what point I was leading to there.
Leading to the generational thing, right?
Yeah.
The difference between what the parents are now than what they used to be.
I suppose that's part of it, yeah. Like the changes that they've made, because they have made changes.
Yes.
Stu now plays video games.
Yeah.
I think he is still an inventor.
Right.
Because, like, in the pilot of the reboot, I think Stu comes out of the garage and Drew, who's Angelica's father, is like, I thought you invented a camera for the door for Grandpa. And I think that's the only time, of the episodes that I've seen, that's the only time that Stu being an inventor is brought up.
Right.
The rest of the time, he's either just with the adults or he's playing video games.
Is he like kind of a slacker guy?
He kind of looks like how he used to look. But I think, like, there's one episode where he goes into the kitchen and he steps in like a puddle of piss. And he goes, "Not my Eclipse Moon socks."
Right.
That typical nerd thing of, like, they have to specify the thing.
Okay.
Like he's clearly wearing those socks because he's a fan of the property.
Right.
And he has to say the property in its entirety.
Okay.
Because that's a very nerd thing to do.
Okay.
Like, not my Eclipse Moon socks that were in mint condition or whatever.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know exactly how old he's supposed. But again, like, you know, a 40-year-old gamer is not. It makes sense. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, that's plausible now.
Very. My uncle's
Very
in his
plausible.
40s, and he's not like that. Not a gamer,
Yeah.
but he still like plays video games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just more undignified, isn't it? Because when you tell me as well that what are Phil and Lil's parents now?
Oh right, yeah. So I'll go through the changes. It's been updated.
Yes.
I think I haven't seen any of the marketing around it, so I don't know if there have been proclamations of we're updating it for a modern audience and all that bullshit.
Contemporarized.
Yeah. But yes, I think Stu is still an inventor that's just been severely backgrounded. Dee Dee was a teacher.
Was she? Okay.
I think she was a teacher.
Right.
She now runs an online boutique.
Right.
From her greenhouse in the garden.
Okay.
I don't know what Chucky's father's doing. I don't know what he did in the original, in fairness.
Coder.
Coder?
It's probably a coder or something, isn't it?
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Like, no, he's a coder. He comes at the end.
Yeah, he's an epilogue.
Wow, that's a hell of an insult to someone, isn't it?
You're an epilogue, mate.
Actually, is that an insult?
You're an epilogue.
Because you leave, like, you're left with the epilogue. The epilogue is the last thing you...
But it's also an afterthought, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I suppose.
Story's over.
Yeah. You don't matter. You're just detail. You're just there. Yeah. No, actually, that's a terrible insult. You're just an epilogue, mate.
Yeah.
That probably would, I just like picturing myself just in a situation where it's like, you know, like you've got like a guy in the pub and he's giving you shit. It's like, oh, you starting a fight, mate. You want to fight me? And it's like, you're just an epilogue, mate. What? You having a go at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what Chucky's father is doing. Angelica's mother used to be a CEO of like a company. Now she's a council person.
A council person?
Not a councilwoman. She is a council person.
Oh, right, okay.
She is on the council.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right.
All right?
I mean, the whole council person thing is silly, but that's timeless, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know why...
Why bother changing it?
Why... Surely you... Like, oh, a female CEO will foreground that. But they took that position away from her?
Maybe a female in politics now is more...
But I think she's basically just the mayor's lackey. She's kind of... From, like, the one episode I've seen her in, she seems to be waiting hand on foot to the mayor. Which, admittedly, we've never met, so I don't know whether the mayor's, like, a guy or a girl.
Okay.
But yeah, CEO is like, she's the boss. She runs her own company. She is the shit. But now she's just like some lackey on the council.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been changed. Phil and Lil, that's probably the biggest change because their mother is now openly gay.
Right.
And the father is not in the show. He goes completely unmentioned.
Is there a wife? Or...
No, she is single. She's a single gay mother.
How does that come up in the children's show?
I think... Dee Dee's like looking at something on the phone.
Because what they've done there, she wasn't gay before, right? Obviously,
no, she wasn't gay. She was like
alternative.
She was masculine.
Yeah, they've reinterpreted Bohemian as lesbian.
Which is
that's what she was, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is kind of like what do you call it?
It's almost derogatory.
Like typecasting.
Kind of, yeah.
Like a woman like that.
Because, yeah, she was a bit lesbianic. But now they're saying, yeah, she is.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was like a butch, masculine woman. And then the father was kind of meek by comparison.
Yeah.
I know that Chucky's father is quite meek.
Yeah.
But, like, she was like, oh, she clearly wears the pants in the family. She's quite not abrasive, but, like, you know, she's very...
outspoken
individual. But no, she's just a single gay mother.
Okay.
Now. Although, weirdly... Because I don't know if you remember, like, one detail about that character, she always used to wear a jumper that had the female symbol on it.
I just remember her wearing a headband.
Oh, she wore a headband. Yeah. And then I don't know if it's a feminism symbol or whether it's just a female symbol.
Okay.
But it's the circle with, like, the cross at the bottom.
Yeah.
Is that
woman.
Woman.
Yeah, yeah.
She always used to wear that in the original series. That's gone now.
Okay.
She just wears a shirt with, like, the Roman numeral for number 2 on it.
Probably 2 on the nose, right?
Maybe.
Make her a lesbian and she's wearing like a woman shirt. Like maybe let's not do that.
Okay. I don't know. That seemed weird to me. Like you made her gay. You basically typecast that character. Yeah. But you took away like a defining symbol.
They're rebelling against what we were talking about earlier, like gay just being your thing. It's like, no, if she's lesbian, we can't have her wearing it. She's got to be like a cool lesbian.
Right.
It's like she can't wear the band t-shirt to the gig.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, how does that come up again in a kid's show?
Oh yeah, I think Dee Dee's just like looking at someone on the phone or talking to someone on the phone, and she offhandedly goes, "Oh, I had a girlfriend who was like that."
Oh, right, okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's not like kids, I'm actually gay.
No, but
it's not like a moment. It's just kind of like, oh yeah,
that's
gay.
Still forcing parents to explain to their children why a girl has a girlfriend.
Yes.
Why doesn't she have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Again, we're not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just like, is that the place to be having that conversation?
Well, there is no conversation, is there?
No, force that
in
conversation.
The show. That's the thing. There's no conversation in the show, so people go, oh, but there is no conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the fact that you have to have...
Yeah.
But actually, I was thinking about it when I was watching, because I've seen 2 episodes of the reboot, and I suppose we'll get to all that in a minute. But like, the fact that Phil and Lil's mother is now gay, I don't see why that's a reason to get rid of the father.
Too complex. Well, they're trying to do the single mother thing as well, aren't they? They're trying to pick up single mothers.
But Chucky's father is single.
Yeah, but that's a single father. That's different.
Oh, that doesn't count, does it?
Well, it's different.
Okay.
They're very different things.
Well, why not introduce a new character that has a single parent? Why did you have to get rid of a father figure of the show?
Were Phil and Lil's father? I can't even remember. Was he that significant?
That's the thing. Like, I didn't this is a character I had forgotten about.
Right.
But yeah, no, like, why get rid of him entirely? Surely you could do something with that. The fact that the father is still a part of, because they still have a father.
Yeah, obviously.
Just because she's gay doesn't mean that they don't have a father.
He'll probably come into it at some point.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not a narrative thing, is it? It's like, the episodes have to entertain the kids.
They do, but like, the old Rugrats, those episodes did do something.
But they were episodic, though.
They were episodic, but they had morals. They had, like, ideas. They weren't completely disposable.
I'm not saying disposable, but, like, you know what I'm saying. The fact that they are just self-contained. Kids don't care about the story of Rugrats. It's what's going on in that 20 minutes.
No, they don't care, but I don't know. I feel like, because, the fact that Reboot exists, it sort of encouraged me to go back and watch some of the original episodes as well. And I will say, I don't, like, have a lot of memories of Rugrats, but going back to some of those old episodes, it was like The Simpsons. I was watching and thinking, like, I remember all of this.
Yeah.
I properly remember this. It's like rediscovering all these memories that I didn't know I had. But yeah, like a couple of the episodes that I saw, I think I saw the pilot for comparison, as a point of comparison. I saw the episode where they go swimming. I saw the episode where it's like they're in the playground, but it's like it's a desert because it's like a heat wave. A couple of episodes like that, and like there were moments in there that were actually quite wholesome almost, which I wasn't quite expecting, because like.
You weren't expecting wholesome from Rugrats?
Well, no, because like my memory of Rugrats is that it's like the babies are just kind of like, oh, they've misunderstood a situation and they're getting themselves in danger. And
I don't really remember any of the content. I just remember the style.
Oh yeah, the style is very iconic.
Yeah.
Which is part of the thing that's lost during the 3D.
Yeah, like if you're going to remake it, you have to do it in that style.
Yeah, the music as well. That's disappointing.
The music, yeah.
Because like obviously at the beginning of every episode, they have that like starburst come up on screen with like the title of the episode.
Garish and just over.
Like, do.
Yeah.
And then in the reboots, it's just the sound of like paper uncrumpling.
All right.
To silence.
Bleak.
Fuck, like this just all like immediately. I haven't seen a frame of the episode yet, and you've got it wrong straight away. Quite frankly, but yeah, like the first episode of the reboots, like Chucky, it starts with like an extended Jurassic Park reference because the babies are trying to outrun a T-Rex, which 8 minutes in they reveal to be Angelica, who's chasing them, and then Chucky decides that he wants to be brave, so Phil and Lil make him eat mud. And he accidentally eats half a worm. So Angelica convinces him that he's going to turn into a worm, and he has a nightmare sequence where he does turn into a worm, which, given the fact that it's not good 3D, was quite nightmarish.
Okay.
Like, I think if you show that to a kid, it's like, oh, no, I don't like that at all.
That's good, though, isn't it? I think kids are more resilient than people give
I don't know, because, like, Rugrats, the original Rugrats, it was sort of part of that era of animation where cartoons weren't afraid of scaring children. Like, they were fine scaring children.
Yeah.
And it was one of those shows where an episode could be funny, scary, and wholesome. I remember, like, not necessarily the episode, because I haven't rewatched the episode, but the Rugrats Search for Reptile video game. That level set in the toy store.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
With the gorillas chasing you.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Terrifying.
I would never play it. Because you didn't have to play every minigame to finish, to get to the end. So I always avoided it.
I always started.
Oh, really?
I always just that pure morbid, like, I have to face this. So I always made myself start, walk a little bit, and then walk a little bit more, just with the whole Rugrats thing, the whole vibe has an offness to it.
Yeah.
The show and the game, it's just weird.
Yes.
There's like an isolation to the whole thing, almost.
I mean, in the game, certainly.
Yeah.
It's just you in that house.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's just like a bit creepy, but in a good way.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that animation, it's obviously done in such a way where it's showing things from a baby's perspective. Like in the pilot episode, when Tommy's being fed by his parents, he's looking up at them. You just see from their waist up, and like these towering figures who are like shoving food in his face, and it's quite like, oh God, get out of my face. And the new one kind of loses that somewhat,
right?
Because it can't be as expressive and kind of
visceral,
exaggerated, I suppose. But yeah, when Angelica is like a crow and she's trying to eat Chucky, who's become a worm, it's like that uncanny 3D animation,
right? So
it's not like good scary,
right?
It's sort of like creepy scary,
okay.
Which I don't know. Like, there's a difference between like good scary and bad scary. I would say this is kind of like on the This is a nightmare sequence, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's scary. I don't think it's like scary correctly.
Well, if it's a nightmare sequence and it is scary, it's doing something, isn't it? I
suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay,
like
fair
it.
enough.
But yeah, he has a nightmare where he turns into a worm. So then I think they decide through some like weird logic, they decide they have to go to the park to get a dinosaur tooth so that Chucky can wish on the dinosaur tooth to not turn into a worm.
Okay.
And because he was never going to turn into a worm, they think it works. And that's like the 40-minute pilot of the Rugrats reboots. In the reboot of the original show, it's Tommy's first birthday. So like all of the characters coming over one by one and you get to meet everyone. This very like clean framing device to introduce all the characters to the show. And the plot is the babies want to eat dog food.
Right.
Because Tommy sees a commercial where this specific brand of dog food, it's like, oh, this will make your dog faster and better.
Right.
And, and they get this idea, they're like, oh, dogs have the best life ever.
Right.
They get to pee where they want. They get to sleep in the flower bed. Everybody loves them. I want to turn into a dog. Let's eat the dog food. Okay. So the whole episode is just them trying to eat the dog food. Okay. And it's like, it's very simple. And the thing that I liked about it as well is that there's this conflict going on with the adults, because you meet all of the adults, basically, apart from Angelica's mother. I don't know why she wasn't there. But obviously Tommy's mother and Tommy's father and Angelica's father are brothers. Yeah. They are constantly bickering. Right. There's like clearly tensions from their childhood that are like bubbling to the surface, and the parents are like disapproving of them. And then Dee Dee's parents come over and they're like this old Jewish couple who are constantly like, the cake is not very good. What are you doing?
Okay.
This like really tense environment is built over the course of the episode. And the babies eat the dog food in the end. They succeed. It's obviously disgusting, so they spit it out. And then they're like, oh, I feel like I'm turning into a dog already. And then they start pretending to be dogs.
Right.
And the adults see this, and all tension leaves the room.
Because they unite over the cuteness.
Yeah. They're just like, oh my God, the babies. It's so adorable. And then the episode ends with like just pictures of that birthday.
Right.
Even though it didn't go according to plan and it was a complete disaster, which was part of the thing that fueled the tension, it's considered a success because the kids are happy.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's actually quite heartwarming.
Right.
And that's stuff that you don't pick up on when you're younger, I don't think. But like going back to it, it's like, okay, there is actually, it's not just weird. It's entertaining and a kid would enjoy it, but there's actually something nice.
That's the original.
Yeah,
because for the longest time I thought you were talking about the remake, and I was like, this sounds too good for
that's
yeah.
I was going to say as well, I probably should have started by saying there's two things that, going back to the original show, there are two things that date it. And that's the style of animation and the fact that it's well written.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
Because, like, that pilot is half the length of the pilots of the reboots. And for all the shit that happens in the reboot, there's no, like that thread of, like, oh, Chucky wants to be brave, so he eats mud, but then he's going to turn into a worm, so they have to go to the dinosaur, and all this convoluted. And then on the side, like, Angelica and Grandpa are at home, and Grandpa is trying to bake cookies, and Angelica is, like, on Tinder, and she's, like, swiping left on all of these women that are showing up to the house because they think Grandpa wants to go on a date with them. Okay. And then a guy shows up and he's like, oh, do you want to go on a date with me? And Grandpa's like, oh, I don't go that way, buddy. And he's like, oh, fair enough. Right. It's like all of this shit's happening. It's like, no, the original, like the babies want to eat dog food. The adults are getting more and more upset, and then the babies are happy at the end. So the adults are like, this was a success. Right. Nice, clean, wholesome story. Versus all of this, like, oh, let's just throw in references to Tinder. Let's just do let's just turn Grandpa into this fucking hippy dippy. That's the biggest thing. Do you have any memories of Grandpa? No. From the Rugrats? I don't know how to describe him. He's like this. He's one of those, like, back in my day, we had to walk 15 miles before someone showed us some respect. He's curmudgeonly. He's a curmudgeoned old man who, like, he did everything when he was younger, and he was in the war, and, like, I think his sons are kind of like, oh, Grandpa, you're just, you're just a crazy old man. But the kids genuinely love him. Yeah. Because he is so affectionate towards them. Well, he's Grandpa. And he's a grandpa and he adores them. But yeah, he's this old curmudgeon who's kind of like, I'm going to take my teeth out to eat that potato salad. And like, don't take your teeth out. I was like, I'll do what I want. Right, okay. He's one of those guys. Now in the reboot, he's like this, but babies, find your inner peace while I make you some cookies. Right. Like, what the fuck is this guy? Well, he's got like a ponytail, like a plaited ponytail. He's from the 60s, that's why. Yeah. Yeah. But, rather than the 40s and the, But that's the thing, like every other character, with the exception of like their occupations are different, and Stu now plays video games. Most characters seem to have made the transition without losing too much. I will say the babies, I don't like the designs of some of the babies. I think Tommy in particular does look really creepy. Right. Angelica works quite well, actually. Okay. Whenever she's on screen, it works. Right. Her animation just seems better. I don't know why, but she just seems to work. Pigtails. Possibly, yeah. So somehow she's more expressive. But why is it that, the babies, the transition is almost flawless, because the impressions, because I don't know if all of the babies have their original voice actors back. Right. Well, some do they? Yeah, some of the original cast did return. Right. I think most of the surviving cast members returned. But some people are doing the impressions, and with the babies in particular, the impressions are flawless. I can't tell if they're impersonators or the real people. Okay. So credit for that, I suppose. But why is Grandpa the one character that's like completely different? Because his generational context is different. I'm not saying that's right, but that's why they've done that. It's like, he'd be from the 60s now. He'd be like a hippie. But I opened this discussion by saying that we'd be the parents now. Yeah. And yet, apart from like minor details that don't seem to impact their character too much, they're the same people. Dee Dee is still this kind of like, we have to do everything by the book. The babies have to be safe. She's still that character, but she just owns an online boutique now. Yeah. Whereas Grandpa is Michael McKean? Yeah. From Better Call Saul and
Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
He does the voice of Grandpa now.
He's Grandpa, okay.
And he's not doing like a back in my day. He's not doing that. He's just doing his normal voice.
Well,
he sounds, I know he's in his 70s, but he sounds as young as Stu and Drew.
Right.
He sounds as young as his children. It's bizarre.
The parents aren't our age, are they? We are old enough to be the parents, but they're not. If Grandpa's from the 60s, our parents are from the 80s.
Yes.
Like their youth.
I think Grandpa is 70.
He's 70.
I think he's 70. I don't know what that makes the parents, though.
Yeah, so you would have been born, if it's set now, in 1950. So late 60s, 70s. That'd be, hippie, you know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think they're not in their 20s. They're probably at least in their 30s, the parents. But yeah, is Phil and Lil's mother a barista?
Oh yeah, she's a barista. Yeah. I don't know what her original occupation was, or even if she had one. She might not have been important enough
for they give her a job
for them to do stories about her. But yeah, like we meet her in the park, but then like it goes to the coffee shop where she works, and she's like, "I got a coffee here for Gen Z," and then somebody comes up and takes a selfie with the coffee.
Okay, there's
I think I cried.
There's a kind of rejection of timelessness that shows have now, where inventor is an archaic job. It was an archaic job in 1991. No one goes by the job inventor. That's from the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
CEO, these kind of timeless jobs. Only I find councilwoman, council person is kind of timeless. But like gamer, okay, like from now on that might be timeless. But the type of game that he's playing, or like the console, you know.
Well, I think it looked like he was using an Xbox controller.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But like the game he was playing, it looked kind of like a pixelated
80s kind of game.
Like maybe 90s. Sort of like that very early 3D graphics where it was still kind of like pixely and like Doom kind of.
So yeah, you got that. The barista, obviously barista's been around for a long time, but that's especially now chic coffee houses and stuff. It's just going to age. Unlike taking the selfie and Tinder and all that, it's just like our generation is just wholly less dignified, I think. Like those jobs, they don't have the gravitas of inventor.
No. Yeah.
And they could have kept that. You don't need to be fiercely relevant.
No.
Because it dates you. It does date you.
But like all of the facets of Rugrats.
Yeah.
The original Rugrats now. Dee Dee was a teacher. Mm-hmm. We have teachers now.
Yeah.
Stu was an inventor. Like, okay, maybe that seems a bit...
I mean, it's still a job. It's like no one goes by that.
No one goes by inventor, but I don't know. There's a parallel there to be drawn between like an artist. Like an artist they'll like do the thing at university and then they won't get a proper job. They'll work in like coffee houses or part-time work because they're like, no, I'm going to be an inventor. That's all I'm going to be. And this is a similar thing with artists. Like, no, I'm going to be
an artist is a vague term is the thing.
Yeah.
But
like
an artist, what does that mean?
But an actor will be like, oh, I'll take up smaller menial jobs so that if an acting gig comes along, I'll be available for it because that's my career. I'm not going to get a job in tech or whatever because I don't want a career. Acting is my career.
Yes.
So there's a parallel, like even though it would be inventor, the fact that he's struggling and the fact that he's like, oh, I'm making all these inventions because one day I'll be a famous inventor, that desire is timeless.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that had to be got rid of. And yeah, the fact that she was a CEO, like that does seem weird to me. That it was like, oh, we're just gonna make her a council person.
Yeah,
because like a female CEO, that should be celebrated in today's society. It's like, oh, she did it, she made it, you know. Because that's one of the things. It's like, oh, there's no female CEOs, or there's very few female CEOs.
I don't know. I guess they just reasoned that a woman in politics is a bit more. Has a bit more to it in this day and age.
Because politics is everything?
Because politics is everything, yeah. Yeah, because Kamala Harris and...
yeah.
Or, you know...
Yeah, exactly.
Nancy Pelosi and that.
But yeah, like, for all of that stuff that supposedly dates it, and obviously the phones they were using were of the time, and the TV sets were of the time, the stories are not dated at all.
No.
The swimming pool episode, they take the baby swimming, right? For the first time. And the story is that Stu used to be this great swimmer.
Right.
But he went on like the high diving board and he bottled it basically. So now he's kind of afraid to do it again.
Okay.
But he gets overly confident and decides to go up for the high dive once again. And once again, he bottles it. He can't go up, he can't go down.
Right.
There's kind of a funny sequence where it's like he goes up, the lifeguard goes up to help him. And he's like, come on, buddy, let's come down with me. He goes, stand back. I'll do it.
Right.
And everyone at the bottom of the like on the pool level is like encouraging him to jump.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, stay back, and the lifeguard's going, don't do anything drastic, and everyone's going, jump. Okay. So it's a funny little moment. Yeah. But the babies, through their kind of like twisted logic, they've determined that the swimming pool is actually a giant potty.
Right.
And they're trying to flush the giant potty. Mm-hmm. And they think they have to do that by jumping on the diving board, the small diving board.
Right.
And they do that. Mm-hmm. Stu sees that they're doing that, and he sees that Tommy falls off and is about to fall into the pool. Mm. So Stu conquers his fears in order to save his child. Mm. That's not like ignore like the context of these characters. The stories that they were being put into are timeless.
Yes.
So I don't see why all of this modernization was necessary. It's like, oh no, DD has to be an online boutique.
Well, it's just to justify having a reboot, isn't it? We've got to change something. That's it. I mean, that's all there is. Like, it's not a good idea, but like, there needs to be something in the pitch. This is how it's going to be updated. It's going to be blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to do Rugrats. It's just going to be Rugrats again.
Yeah. Although I didn't actually finish explaining the differences, because apart, like, Phil and Lil's father is gone, but there are also some other characters that are gone.
Right.
Including Dill.
Right. He comes along later though, doesn't he?
Yeah, in the show he comes along a lot later. But they got rid of Dill, and they've also got rid of Kimmy and Kira.
Can't remember them.
Kira, they're the ones that are introduced in Rugrats in Paris.
Okay.
Kira is Chucky's stepmother.
Yeah.
And Kimmy is his stepsister.
Yeah.
Who are of East Asian descent.
Yes.
And they're not in the show anymore.
Yet.
Who knows?
Because, they came along... I mean, when was the Rugrats in Paris movie? 2001? 2000?
2000, I think.
2000, yeah. Like, give them time.
But why?
Why what?
Why... I don't know. Why do the reboot where, like... Oh, the characters that came later, we'll bring them in later as well.
Well, no, they might not.
Because seriously, they didn't.
Right.
Funny enough, the black character, she's there from the start.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, they're not waiting to introduce her when she was introduced in the original.
Yeah.
They got rid of the Asian characters. They're keeping the black ones, though.
Well, they need to get rid of the Asian characters, don't they?
Why?
Because if they want a Chucky's father to be a single father, then they just got to get rid of those characters.
Because if they're doing the single...
Well, I'm not justifying
No, because if they're doing the single mother thing... What's better, doing the single father thing or doing the mixed race couple thing?
Well, I don't know. They're not going to do any of them as things, are they?
I don't know.
It's just details.
They might be like, oh look, it's just Rugrats, and then season 2 comes along. It's like, right, let's talk about what it's like to be gay.
No, I know. As much as I loathe all this stuff, in Rugrats, it's never going to become an issue like that. It's just going to be her saying, "Oh, I had a girlfriend like that."
Yeah.
It's just going to be window dressing.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah. Well, it's the definition of tokenistic, isn't it? It's like she is gay, but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be anything.
Yeah.
He's a single parent, but it's not gonna we're not gonna do anything with that, you know. But they might. I don't know. I mean, how long has it been going? The reboot.
The reboot.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just come out. I think we're 5 episodes in.
Oh, okay. Right. We'll give it. I don't know how it works in children's television. How do seasons work?
Well, the original show, it was like 24 episodes a season.
Okay.
I don't know if this one will be less because you get less now.
Don't know. Maybe it's different in kids shows though. I don't know. Like Adventure Time was weird.
Yeah, but that was 2D animation.
Okay. I mean, I don't...
Saying that, though, that doesn't really say anything. It's like Rick and Morty Season 5 is in the process of coming out.
It's out, yeah.
Well, 2 episodes,
It's
right?
airing, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's only 4 episodes, right?
Are there only 4?
Well, there were only 5... No. Season 4, there were 2 lots of 5, right?
Yeah.
And on the websites that we use to watch things, there are only 4 episodes listed. And what they tend to do is they tend to list the episodes in advance.
Yeah, but more will be added.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the way to...
right,
that's not a good metric, yeah.
Okay, well, even if Season 5 does end up having more episodes, Season 4, they did 5 and 5.
Yes.
So, yeah, the length of Adventure Time seasons might not be a good indication either.
No, yeah, there's this... But obviously Rick and Morty's for adults as well, isn't it? It's not on children's TV, so...
Then again, I think Sonic Boom was a 3D animated show in the spirit of the way that the Rugrats is done. And that had 52 episodes a season.
Yeah, so they
can do a lot.
Yeah.
But they were 10 minutes an episode.
How long is Rugrats?
Well, the pilot was 40 minutes.
Right.
And then 40
minutes?
Yeah. That's the thing. The pilot of the original series was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was long. Like an average Rugrats episode is 12 minutes, whereas I think in the reboot it's like 20.
It's longer in the reboot.
Yeah.
So what, 12 minutes was the average Rugrats episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what I meant. One of the things I meant by saying like the original was well written, and that's what dates it. Shows just seem to be able to do more with less time.
Yeah,
back in the day,
I just think it points to. I might be reading too much into it. A slightly depressing trend in the Arrested Development culture, which is kids don't want to watch something for 40 minutes.
No,
so that's for adults.
Yeah,
and I know adults have to watch it with their kids, but you're self-accepted. Adults shouldn't be watching Rugrats. What are you doing sitting down watching Rugrats?
Well, I watched Rugrats because it was an
intellectual exercise.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Fine.
But genuinely, because like I watched it out of curiosity, but also because like, oh, I can talk about this. Because like I did think there was something to be said. Not only because like, oh shit, we're the parents now.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the it's just another example of the reboot, we have to modernize all of this stuff for the reboot, and you have to put in all like the Gen Z bullshit of like taking selfies and also things are just getting longer.
Well, just more stuff.
There's more stuff. Yeah,
but like that's not for kids, is it? 40 minutes.
No,
like kids will sit through films sometimes.
The Rugrats in Paris movie, I think that's like 80 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So the pilot of the reboot is half the length of the feature film.
Yeah, I mean kids get fidgety. Especially kids of the age that will be watching Rugrats.
Yeah.
20 minutes will do. And I'm talking about the pilot now. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm okay with 20 minutes generally an episode. Like, that's all right. 12, okay, fine. That obviously was better. But 20, okay, can live with that. But 40, it's ludicrous for a children's show.
Maybe even 45.
Yeah.
Which,
It's for adults, isn't it? It's for adults.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, that's family show length. Doctor Who used to be 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That is for the family, you know.
Yeah.
But Rugrats is for children.
Yes.
That is unambiguously a children's show.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You're not a fan, basically.
I'm not a fan, and it's not something I'm going to continue watching anyway. It's not like they've ruined it for me. This is not the Rugrats I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I'd forgotten a lot about Rugrats. It was nice to rediscover it. I will say that, like... That's what these reboots tend to do. They tend to encourage me, maybe other people as well, to like re-explore the original. It's like, oh yeah, I liked the original. So,
do you still like it though? Is the do you still enjoy it, or
Rugrats.
is it a nostalgic experience?
It was a nostalgic experience.
Okay,
to go back to Rugrats.
You wouldn't actually watch it now.
No, I won't watch it. It was nice to obviously revisit it from a nostalgic perspective, but it was also kind of nice that I felt like I got something out of it as an adult.
Yeah, of course, you can appreciate.
Yeah, like as a kid, I just enjoyed the antics of the babies, but to see the mechanisms a bit more.
Yes.
Like, the antics of the babies is actually resolving conflict for the adults.
Yeah.
And these things are just happening by accident. That was kind of nice. It's like, there is something here if a parent were to watch it with their child.
Yeah, a fresh appreciation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But also, you don't... Stop it. Stop it with the 3D animation. Stop it with the Gen Z bullshit. You don't need it.
Okay.
Please.
Not a recommendation, then.
Not a recommendation, no.
Okay. I'm now going to get someone on the line, Jord. Hello?
Hello.
Oh my god, is that who I think it is?
That's Eddie Boylett. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm alright.
Eddie Boylett of the Funfiltered podcast.
Formerly of the
Funfiltered
podcast. Formerly of popping in to say hello.
Yes. It was your birthday over the weekend, wasn't it?
It was indeed, it was indeed.
And how old are you now?
I'm 26 now. I've joined you in that.
Yes. And what did you do?
What was meant to be, the sort of party of certainly of my year. Maybe not anyone else's party of my year. Involved me napping halfway through the day and then drinking a few cans while I watched the football with a takeaway
Adulthood.
with two of my friends.
Quality.
Yeah.
Quality.
Quality, yeah.
But I will say, unfortunately, by being more sensible on my birthday, it did mean I could then enjoy my Sunday a lot more, and that was kind of worth it because it was the first time I'd seen my sister since 2019. So,
I see. Okay.
So it was kind of worth it, and then I still celebrated a bit more Sunday evening then. So we sort of made up for it a little bit more in the Sunday evening. Okay,
well that's good. We called you on the other recording, didn't we?
Yes, which you did.
Which went to shit. So that's why we're doing this again. The audience needs to hear you on the 50th episode.
Do we tell the audience that, like, on that phone call, Eddie, you were like, I trust you guys. You can talk about anything and make it entertaining. And we've just binned a 4-hour episode because it was nothing but shit.
So basically, what happened is I had complete and utter faith in you that nothing would go wrong. And then here we are a couple days later because maybe something went wrong.
Your faith betrayed.
It just it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't good. We were drinking. We thought we'd introduce some novelty into it. Play a game. It wasn't for the audio, so we just dumped the whole thing.
That's fair enough then.
Yeah, Eddie, did you think that we'd get to 50?
Well, did I think you'd get to 50? I mean, I said this on the other recording, so it's going to be a little bit of repeating myself.
We've got to pretend that you didn't say it, though.
No, Eddie, you didn't say it. This is all new.
Sorry, this is all brand new, even though we've just told them it's not brand new.
Yeah.
You two have the ability to waffle about almost anything.
Yeah.
No, we just did that. We just said that you said that, and we proved you to be wrong.
No, but that's the point. My whole point is you two do. And so, no matter what form, as long as there was a time, and obviously we've had schedules in the way at times where when Jordan had his job over Christmas and things were a bit difficult.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you were still always going to make it work and do it in some way, shape, or form. And that was the point. Is even if you were doing the sort of fun-offs or whatnot, it was always going to get there in some capacity. So yes, I did believe.
Well, that warms my heart to have that kind of thing.
Did you think we'd get to 50? Well, yeah, you're not going to stop, are you?
Yeah, too lazy to stop. Tedious commitment. So, are you just generally better now, Eddie?
We're improving. We're improving. We're not.
Okay.
We're not fully there yet. That last week was a good week for. Obviously, I won't have explained this anymore.
Okay.
But obviously, I've been away last week in London. So I was away for 9 days in London. Saw some family while I was there. Saw some friends. We had some rocky days, but ultimately, like the Sunday ended on quite a sort of high. As I say, I was on quite a good form all day.
Yeah.
And then I was still able to celebrate. And then I was fine on the Monday. So it was sort of a good push out the comfort zone, given that I have still been dealing with stuff since I sort of last year.
Yes.
So. It's improvement. It's definitely improvement. Headaches are definitely improving. It's just beating the stress and all that now. So
improving as in they're going away, not improving as in like the headaches are getting stronger. They're better headaches, stronger headaches.
Who do you know, Jordan, that describes headaches that way? My headaches are getting better.
Well,
meaning like they're fortifying. And
I thought it was worth clarifying in case Eddie was the one guy.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, I do come out with some weird shit, so that is, I mean, it's fair enough.
Well, speaking of that, there is always, of course, a space at the table for you, Eddie, should you wish to return.
Yes, well, I am sure we will, whether it's, whatever capacity it is in, I'm sure there will be a point at some point where I will jump on and join you for something.
You tease. You flirty little minx.
So... I mean, I don't know if Jordan's had a chance to read something I put up on the internet yesterday, but there was something in there for him.
Oh, interesting. Was this on your blog?
Yes.
Promote it like a whole...
Your blog, Eddie Boiler blog. Cuts from the quill, was it, Eddie?
It doesn't need promoting like that.
It does. Do it. Go on.
It's called Cuts from the Quill. You can find it on Instagram.
Okay. We're on Facebook, Instagram.
Is this about aliens?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't read it yet. We were going to read it later.
Yes, there's a little something in there for Jordan.
Oh, okay. And where's mine?
Where's yours? There'll be something at some point.
Okay, all right. Building up to it. That's you're taking your time. I understand.
A little cross promotion.
Well, what's the cross promotion?
Well, if the audience are not going to know what the hell. I don't know what the hell he's on about.
No.
The audience is not going to know what the hell he's on about.
I suppose, yeah.
So
Enigma, mystery.
What is the specific article to which you are referring, Eddie? What's it called?
Am I really spelling out the name of a title?
Yeah, what's it called?
I met an alien in my sleep.
Interesting.
Okay. I do sleep a lot.
You do sleep a lot.
Is that what it's for?
Have you met any aliens?
Is that what you mean, Eddie? Is that what you mean by it's for Jordan?
No. It's not referring to the...
Is it going to refer to bone-shattering snoring?
No, it's not. It's not.
Is that what it is? They think that they met an alien in their sleep because they mistook the snoring for the sounds of UFOs.
Is it about two well-meaning guys trying to pull their friend off a fucking couch?
By literally pouring water in his ear.
It's not about this.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll find it.
What I will say is there's a reference in there, as I say, it's for Jordan, and I wrote this particular thing after listening to an episode of the podcast.
Ooh.
So it comes from
So it could be any one of my mad conspiracy theories.
We're building it's going to be about the moon, isn't it? My prediction is about the moon getting bigger.
Is the moon made of chocolate orange, Eddie? Is that what it is?
I will not confirm which
It's the moon, mate. I'm telling you now.
I will not confirm which conspiracy it relates to, but it does relate to one of Jordan's wonderful conspiracies.
It's about the moon.
It's about the moon getting bigger.
It's about the moon
getting bigger. I'm telling you.
It's not, but that's what it's about. Well, we're creating a little Funfiltered universe here, aren't we? the FU.
Well, that's now officially a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for gracing us with your presence, Eddie.
No, my pleasure, my pleasure.
We just needed to hear your voice on this milestone episode.
Yes. Well,
Right.
I'm glad you got there. It's been a pleasure.
Indeed. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll see you soon, probably, but otherwise, speak very soon.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, bye-bye, Eddie.
Bye.
Say bye, George. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Nice to hear from Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why there was an upward inflection when you said that?
No, what was it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't meant to be that.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we move on to our last topic?
Okay.
It's a film review.
Yay! We do those, don't we?
We do those, yeah. One. Imagine that, an episode, just one.
Yeah.
Whenever people, invariably, when I talk to people on Tinder, they'll say, "What's your podcast about?"
Right.
And I'll say, the first thing is, we mainly do film reviews.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Well, I mean, this is the 50th episode.
Yeah.
This is our only film review.
Yes.
It's going to be a hell of a candidate, right?
You'd think.
What film were you reviewing, Sam?
It's called Freaky.
Freaky. Jason Blumhouse. Is it Jason Blumhouse?
Jason Blum.
Jason Blum.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is
the company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blumhouse horror comedy. Starring Vince Vaughn and some bitch I've never heard of.
Hey, it's Catherine Newton.
Who's that?
She's been in loads of things.
What's she been in?
Don't have a go, Catherine Newton.
Who's the Catherine?
She was in *Halt and Catch Fire*.
What's that?
The show that you like, the opening credits.
Oh, they were good opening credits.
The 80s show, yeah.
Okay.
She was in *Big Little Lies*. She's in the
What's
map.
that?
Oh, you must know Big Little. HBO show with Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Alexander Skarsgård, and she was in the map of Tiny Perfect Things earlier this year.
What's that?
Yeah, you might not have seen her in anything, but I'm fairly familiar with her.
Okay. And is she all right?
She's not a bad actress.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's her and Vince Vaughn.
It's her and Vince Vaughn in this sort of horror comedy B.
Yeah, 80s movie.
80s movie flick. We watched this because what the fuck else were we going to watch?
Yeah, I mean, I would have watched it anyway. Because it was of a certain percentage on RT and it was coming up.
Yeah.
So but I probably would have seen it in a week or two. But we thought, well, by the time this episode comes out, it will be out.
Yes.
So let's watch it now. I think it's the kind of film I probably would have recommended to you as well.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you told me about it, but...
yeah, because I've seen, like, posters for it. But it was one of those posters that, like, I saw outside of the cinema before it was closed during the first lockdown.
Okay, yeah, I think it's coming out in August for us.
Yeah, so I don't know how delayed this project was.
Oh, no, I say that. No, not August. That's something else. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Censor, I'm thinking of. But a Red Letter Media did a thing. Yeah. No, yeah, it's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Yes, but it hadn't come across my radar yet.
No.
But yeah, I think it's, had I watched it and you hadn't, I probably said, yeah, try that.
Okay. Because it's a film that you recommend, or because it's a film you think I would have liked?
Can I say that yet?
Yeah, I think it'll become clear pretty quickly what we think.
Both.
Okay.
It's a film I would generally recommend. I liked it quite a lot.
All right.
Not love.
Yes.
But for what it was, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I think it's the kind of film generally I would say you would like more than I would.
Okay.
Just because it has its style. And we've said this before, it's not like you're superficial and I'm not. But if something is really good and has a great style, you're probably going to like it more than I do. Whereas if something is just dialogue and is really good, I'm probably going to like it more than you do.
Yes.
So, plot. It's basically Freaky Friday, but with a teenage girl and a serial killer.
Hence freaky.
Very self-aware, postmodern kind of thing.
They all are now.
They all are. Not annoyingly, though. It's not annoyingly postmodern.
No.
And that's kind of it. They swap bodies, and then the serial killer just wants to kill people.
Like, that's the thing. Like, you say it's postmodern. Plot-wise, it's incredibly straightforward. It's basically a straight retelling.
Yes.
Of Freaky Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
That trope plot.
Yeah.
Have we come up with a word for that? Where, like, it's a trope, but, like, the entire plot.
We've talked about it.
So, like, Freaky Friday.
Groundhog Day.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
They're tropes, but the entire film is the trope.
The plot is the trope,
yeah. Is there a word for that?
There might well be.
Okay.
If not, stay tuned, future episodes.
Okay, all right. Like, it's sort of the details that are kind of postmodern-y. As you say, the serial killer just wants to kill. Like, the fact that... No tragic backstory, nothing drives him or motivates him.
No, he's a force of nature.
Yes, he just kills.
It's set on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I like, though, because when the film starts, the thing comes up, the... Not quite title card, but it says Wednesday the 11th.
Yes.
Like, well, I know where this is going then.
Yeah.
Instantly you think that.
Yeah.
And then it's Thursday the 12th. And it does come up, doesn't it? Friday the 13th. Yeah. Okay. I kind of liked it if they hadn't done that. I like the idea of you get Wednesday the 11th, Thursday the 12th, and you were left to fill in the pieces.
Yeah.
But anyway, set on Friday the 13th, high school. She's got one friend who's gay, one friend who's black. And it's postmodern in ways like when they're running from the killer. He says, I'm gay, you're black, we're dead.
Yeah.
Like there's a kind of self-awareness about the film they're in. Yeah, that's sort of the plot. And then, like, she has till midnight to get them back in their original bodies.
Yes.
That's the film.
That is the film.
That is the film.
That is just straight up the film.
Yeah, I liked it. Did you like it?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure if you liked it?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's the kind of film that you can be unsure whether you liked it or not.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, you either like it or you don't.
It is what it is, and I saw it for what it was, but I don't know if I like what it was.
Okay. What didn't you like about it?
Well, I didn't laugh.
Okay.
That's probably one of the things. I didn't find it funny.
Okay.
There was, like, one moment where the gay character, to cover up what's actually going on, the gay character pretends to come out to his mother as straight.
Yes.
That was the one moment
she says you're a lot of things, but straight isn't.
Yeah, that was like, okay, that's a cute moment. But comedy-wise, there wasn't really anything that resonated with me.
I can't remember laughing.
No.
But to be fair, that if the standard for liking a comedy film is me laughing out loud, the bar's too high.
No, that's fair enough, especially since we watched this alone.
We watched it alone, and it takes a lot.
Yeah. Alone as in we weren't together.
Alone,
we were both...
Yeah, we were on our own when we watched it.
Yeah. It's not like, we didn't go to the cinema. It's like, no, neither of us were in any company.
No, we were solitary when we watched it.
Yeah.
Not just that, but yeah, it's laugh out loud comedy is very rare, especially when you're alone. But I found it amusing.
Okay.
Again, for what it was, I
recognise that it was trying to be funny. Okay. I don't mean that to sound as, like, snarky.
It does. It does sound snarky.
No, I didn't mean like, oh, well, I knew it was being funny, but it just wasn't. It's like, no, I know it's trying to be a comedy. I'm not finding...
Yeah.
There's a lot of Gen Z-isms in there.
Yeah.
Enough that I think maybe that's part of the joke.
Right.
Just like what the opening line, one of the opening lines of the film is like, they're talking about the killer. And he's like, oh, I don't know exactly what the line is, but it's something like, how is he so violent? And like the blonde girl that says, like, don't underestimate a cis white guy's lust for violence.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, that. But that was the only example of that I found.
No, but, like, I'm not bringing that up as, like, oh, look at this, politics is everything again.
Yeah.
I bring that up because it's sort of like, it's reached the point now where that kind of stuff is just present-day verisimilitude almost.
Right. Okay.
It's like the woman taking the selfie in the coffee parlour. Like, if there's a cartoon coming out post, like, 2010s, there's going to be a character taking a selfie with their mobile phone.
Yeah.
And now I think, like, if there's a film with young people in it, they're just going to say shit like that.
But they do.
And it's not virtue signalling, because that's just what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do. That is what young people
The film is just the film is not trying to win brownie points anymore. It's just depicting, well, this is what people are.
Yes.
And that's kind of like, oh.
Yeah, that's depressing. But
Yeah,
you
that
can't
kind
really
of put me
blame
in
the
a bad
film.
mood to
You can't really blame the film for that, though, can you?
No, because I realised that's what it was doing. I wasn't angry because it was political. I was angry because people are like that.
Yes.
And then, like, when the bully is texting people about the main character, she thinks the main character's a lesbian, and she's like, "Oh, she's a vegetarian."
Yes.
Just like things like that. It's like, they're being all Gen Z about it.
Okay.
That's a thing that young people say.
Okay.
Not specifically vegetarian, but that kind of like
Seems too clever for a Gen Z, to be honest.
I don't know.
Yeah. Vegetarian. There's like some wit to that.
Okay.
A little bit. Not a lot, but some.
No. The humour didn't land for me. The kills did.
The thing that didn't land for me were the emotional moments.
There's definitely that. There's one moment in particular I'm sure we'll get to. I don't want to talk about it just yet. But
Okay.
yeah, the emotional moments didn't land. I think because the script was so tepid.
I don't think so. I think it's just because I'm not coming here for that.
Okay.
Like the emotional moments, the emotional beats don't land as much as you find amusing. The like audacity almost of them being the incongruity of them being there in the first place. Just like, because the thing that I quite liked about it, that it didn't work 100% of the time, was that it was a marriage of a family film vibe of them learning lessons about their mum and like, she's lonely and I am going to comfort her now.
Yeah.
Like Freaky Friday stuff.
Yeah.
With the hyper gory violence that didn't mesh, but I actually thought it worked.
Well, I mean, the end credits of the film, they take that idea to those credits, don't they? Because as the credits are rolling, they have like that kind of girly Mean Girls high school aesthetic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, it's like her notebook and there's love hearts and then it gets torn away and there's like blood and gore underneath.
Yeah.
So it is, it is marrying those two. It's taking Freaky Friday and Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And it's actually
Yeah. There you go.
Freaky Friday the 13th. I wonder if that was an original title. Freaky Friday the 13th.
No, I think it's like that's why it's called Freaky, right? It's because your brain does the next bit and then the bit after that.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, it's just taking those two films and it's mashing them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it does.
Yes.
But the kills, no, I think the kills were definitely the highlight for me. They were the right balance between gory and goofy.
Yeah, they were.
Like in the opening sequence where he like breaks the tennis racket in half and like impales it on either side of the guy's head.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fun kill.
Well, because that's the thing, that opening sequence, the 4 teenagers are killed. And all killed in quite inventive ways.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but I thought, I don't want it to be this. Because, my thing is trying too hard to do the stylized action violence thing. It just winds me up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it didn't do enough of it to do. It was like, oh no, because when it happens, like I'm enjoying it. Like when she kills the teacher.
Yeah.
And okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
What kind of, maybe this is just like a cultural thing, because obviously we went to school in the UK, we live in the UK. What the fuck school has a cryo chamber in it?
Yeah, I don't know about I don't know about a cryo chamber. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
No. Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Like it was cryo athletics.
Right.
So I don't know if like they go in there, it's like an ice bath.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like a kid takes a knife into a school, they can do a lot of damage, but I just don't see them being able to have a thing where you can lock someone in, turn temperature all the way down, and it freezes them.
Yeah, I mean that was fun when she like goes in and checks the girl and she falls over and like shatters.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah,
but like, why the fuck do you have a cryo chamber?
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Yeah,
but no, actually, you mentioned like bringing the knife to school. I didn't even think of that. Well, it's an American high school.
Yeah,
it'd be like metal detectors and shit. Right?
Not every high school has
Not
those.
every high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you tend to find that, I could be wrong, more in like inner city.
Right.
This is the suburbs, isn't it? I don't know, obviously like school shootings and stuff don't discriminate.
Where was 8th grade set?
No idea.
Okay, because 8th grade they had metal detectors in school and they did like school shooting drills and stuff. They hide under the desks. I don't know, but I mean that was probably put in anyway. It's just like this is what being a teenager is like now. You have to go through school shooting drills. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's not a film with a logic. The film hangs on the logic necessarily.
No, I suppose not.
Yeah.
It's just that's not something I'd considered until that moment.
Yeah, that's fair. But I like that. Yeah, sure. Just put her in a cryo chamber and just freeze it. Dumb sort of thing.
Yeah. But that's I think that one stands out to me because all of the other kills are plausible.
I guess. Yeah.
Like not they're implausible to some degree. Like, a tennis racket probably wouldn't do that much damage.
No.
But it's feasible that a tennis racket be there for him to use.
Yeah.
It's feasible that there be like a buzzsaw in the workshop. It wouldn't cut the guy in half as quickly and cleanly as it did.
No.
But the fact it's there is fine.
Yes.
But the cryo chamber, that's a bit of a push for me.
Oh, yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, that when the film settled in on a certain level, I knew, like, well, you're not going to love this film. So just enjoy it for what it is. So things like that were ludicrous didn't detract from the experience. Like, oh, whatever.
Okay.
You know, it was just meant to be fun. Like, do whatever you can as long as it's fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And the film didn't... That's the one moment it was a danger. It was the danger that would cross the line. But there is a danger there, isn't there? If you're in that in that mindset of like, oh, just it doesn't matter if it's slightly ludicrous. Let's have fun. The film can push it too far.
It depends. Like, there are some comedies that make no sense and don't try to make sense, but like, as long as you're laughing, does it matter? I think it's context dependent. But like, the best thing about the film for me was Vince Vaughn. I really liked Vince Vaughn in it.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's nice to see him having fun.
Yeah,
because he kind of made that move from the crappy comedies into he did True Detective, and then after that he did Dragged Across Concrete and Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Yeah.
Kind of exploitation-y sort of films that were hyper-violent but with a postmodern edge. But he's kind of playing straight in those. He's the big guy and he's strong. And in this, it's a comedy performance.
Yeah.
And
because he spends most of the film pretending to be a teenage
girl. And he actually does it quite well, I think.
It's not Jack Black in Jumanji.
No.
But it's similar enough in the sense that, like, I believe that he's a teenage girl.
Yeah. I thought it was better than Jack Black in Jumanji.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Jumanji in particularly, but because that's Jack Black is playing the most shallow, vapid teenage girl.
Yes.
Oh my god! And I like the Vince Vaughn was a little bit more subtle. It was just girly. Yeah, you know, he ran slightly effeminately.
Yeah,
it wasn't that hyper. Oh my god! It wasn't that. He was just being a girl. And I thought he was quite good at it. I was like, oh, it's good. It's like you're not dead inside, Vince Vaughn, as I thought you might be.
Yeah.
After having to do all those comedies and then you're alright, you're having fun, you know? Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, inventive deaths, like you said. I like that the high schoolers looked like high schoolers, which you don't often get.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I don't know how old the high schoolers are.
They're probably all older, but they looked... Because they're short. You don't get like the really tall jocks and stuff. Like, they're all quite short.
Yes.
You know? Her crush, was it Booker? Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
He's a fucking weirdo. Because here's the thing. Like, there's a scene where, you know, he finds out that she's in love with him, but in this moment she's trapped in the body of Vince Vaughn. And then they kiss. He's like, yo, still you, I'll kiss you, sort of thing. No teenage boy is that unshallow. It's just like, that's obviously, that is the definition of pansexual.
This is the scene that I was talking about.
Right.
Where, Vince Vaughn and that guy, presumably 18-year-old guy, make out in a car.
Yeah.
So, is this funny? Is this heartwarming?
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weirder than anything else in the film.
It's meant to be uncomfortably funny. I didn't think it was uncomfortable on any level beyond that. It was meant to be awkward. Like, oh, Vince Vaughn is making out with this young guy. He's not 18, is he? I mean, the character is, but he's probably in his 20s.
No, I'm talking about it in the context of the story.
It's just meant to be a bit like, ugh. Like, ugh, why are they doing that? But, like, in the reality of it, that kid's a weirdo. I don't care. Like, he's just found out that she's in love with him and he's had a crush on her or whatever. You still wouldn't make out with her, you know.
Especially if you knew that her body looked like what it does.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Let's not brush over that.
But she's hot.
This is a rather attractive woman.
Yeah, she's hot. She's a blonde horror girl.
She is.
Yeah.
This needs to stop.
What?
Attractive women are not introverted. They don't exist, and if they do...
They're rare.
Where are they?
Well, because the thing is,
give me their numbers. Where are they?
She's supposed to be kind of frumpy.
Is she?
Like, she's hot, right?
Yeah.
But, like, the whole idea is that she's not one of the hot girls.
Oh, I found that funny, and I'm not sure whether it was intentional or not. The moment Vince Vaughn takes over her body, she suddenly has this really cool fashion sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She goes to school dressed as like a bad bitch. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Like, even though Vince Vaughn, the character now, he's just wearing, like, black clothing, and he's just, like, comfortable clothes to kill in.
Yeah.
And then he takes over this teenage girl's body, and all of a sudden he's wearing, like,
he's got great fashion
tight
sense.
jeans and, like, leather jacket. I mean, like, again, like, you know, if you're just rolling with the film, then whatever. But, like, surely he would just pick comfortable clothes to kill in, like he usually wears.
I don't think so. This is one of my problems with the film. Vince Vaughn really good, and obviously you spend more time with him than you do with her. For what she has to do, she does fine.
Yeah,
just look menacing and kind of dead-eyed, and just that's it. Because there's no character; it's just the killer.
Yeah,
I wish they'd done a little bit more with her, because there are moments like when she calls people cunt and all that sort of thing. And it's like, the idea of like a serial killer who's obviously incredibly warped and now being in a teenage girl's body, you could do some really weird shit with that I wish they had. Like him messing with her and like fucking guys and stuff, because he would get off on it because he's a fucking creepy sexual weirdo.
Like, I'm going to get you pregnant.
Yeah, but if not that necessarily, just like the experiential, I'm a girl. I wonder what it's like to like finger. Not that I wanted to see that.
No.
But you know what I mean? Like,
a character that disturbed,
not just dressing like a bad. Maybe they thought it's too mainstream to go that weird with it. But that would have been nice to see a little bit more disturbing.
Yeah, like fair enough. Especially since like, he's just portrayed as this silent psychopath.
Yeah.
But then in the final scene, spoilers.
Yeah.
Where they return to their normal bodies. He's like monologuing at her at the end.
He's sadistic. Yeah,
he's sadistic. It's like, okay, this character hasn't had a character until this moment.
Yeah.
I know he needs a character now.
Yeah,
but it's a shame that you didn't give him anything to do / her anything to do.
Yes,
prior to this.
It would have been, rather than just like dressing up, because that's the thing. I'm okay with that he would have seen her wardrobe and kind of, but not necessarily just dressing up as. Because here's the thing. Originally, she's supposed to be not hot, then just like a bit frumpy and wearing like clothes that aren't hip. You know, she's wearing like oldish clothes and she's a bit like alternative, and they're the outcast group, like one gay, one black, and she writes poetry and that sort of thing. But that's the cliche in American movies, is that there are these stunningly beautiful girls that write poetry and the social outcast that don't exist.
Yeah, it is a cliche and it needs to stop.
Because it is frustrating.
It depresses me that these women aren't real.
I know. They are real, but they're incredibly rare.
Well, so introduce me to one.
Well, I don't know any. Mate, think if I knew it.
Someone, please introduce me to one, because I need to, like, I have questions.
Well, it's that Peep Show thing, isn't it? When he meets that girl, April, and he kind of follows her to university. And then there's that inner monologue bit where he says, he might just actually say it, she has the twin virtues of low self-esteem and beauty. Like, she can't know that she's beautiful. I can't let her know, otherwise I'll never have her. Sort of thing. Yeah, they are rare. They're out there, but they're rare. But it's like that trope, isn't it, of films about women being in love with these beastly men because they have a curse on, like Beauty and the Beast kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like a really attractive guy, but he's got like a weird tattoo or a scar.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Let it be like a fat, short, like fucker.
Yeah.
Just like, I wish they'd, if not him dressing up as the bad bitch thing, which makes sense because now she doesn't care and she's going to elevate through the social ranks. Just like weird, having weird clothes.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Just
well,
really
I think he would dress practically, because that character does.
This is what I'm saying, because he's so disturbed and he's in a teenage girl's body. I think he would go weird with it. But not necessarily like hot badass all of a sudden. Just bizarre.
Yeah.
I guess need to differentiate her from him as well, right? In how they were dressed. Because he is just dressed in like the black practical clothes. She needed to have something else going on. And it kind of makes sense. Like, she needs to be evil, so I'll dress her up as like queen bitch.
Maybe.
I get it. You know, it's not ideal, but I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I just thought it was, and I did enjoy it. I have to say, I enjoyed myself when I watched it. Because it was a shallow watch. I knew it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. And it was just nice to see Vince Vaughn alive.
Ironically.
Because he obviously gets killed.
He obviously does. Yeah, what do you feel about that final... I know this, like, the character development is complete.
Yeah.
It's like, I am a fucking piece.
Well, it's what the film deserved.
Okay.
It's what the film was. It was that film. So, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, fine, be done with you.
Well, no, because like I said, I liked it, but it's because I knew it was staying in a certain place. Like Nobody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was a bit of a surprise.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it would be as good as it was, not saying that it was excellent.
No. I think the best thing about it is the kills.
Yeah.
Interesting choice that everyone who gets killed after the body swap is a bad person.
Yeah.
No innocent people, quote unquote, die.
Yeah.
Like the escalation of violence at the end, where she's the killing ramps up and they have to stop him. I'll say him because it's one in their body. Like the people he kills, we're going to gang rape him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like there's a moment where he's driving to the old mill that he's lured all of the kids to, and the gay best friend thinks that it's the sister, the cop sister. So he's like, hey, stop. And then, like, the car charges at him, and I thought, oh, he's going to get killed now. And that's going to be, like, the thing that fires them up for Act 3. Is like, you killed my gay best friend. Sure. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But no, he survives. Sorry?
You homophobe.
You homophobe, yeah. But yeah, like all of the quote-unquote good people survive.
I didn't have a problem with that just because it's going for mainstream thrills. It's not trying to be subversive. The nice people don't die. The horrible people die.
I don't know, because it's maybe slightly subversive in the sense that, like, I'm gay, you're black, we're definitely going to die. And then they survive the film.
In that way, okay.
Yeah.
But the teenage kids, they'll be like, you know? Again, didn't really have a problem with that just because that's the audience it was going for. It didn't want to have you feel bad about the nice people dying. It wanted you to celebrate the nasty people dying. Because the way the deaths are as well, it's so inventive. It's just fun, isn't it? Like the dickhead teacher, who, like, when she attacks him, he just, like, not only defends himself, he then, like, kicks her.
Yeah, he's like, that's what you get, bitch.
It's like, oh, okay, I like that. That's good.
The fact that they were going all in on him, not the fact that he was beating up a girl, right?
Almost legacy casting, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Because he's one of the main characters in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, right.
Seminal 80s high school movie.
Yes.
So him playing the teacher.
Okay.
That's kind of a bit.
Yeah, he's a dick from the start, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He just singles her out.
Yeah, like,
buddies her.
Where's your project? It's like, I'm not due until next week. We should have done it this week.
Yeah.
Then you're holding up the class again, and then he, like, slams the table.
And then, like, the next class, he's just like, maybe you'd be something if you just focused. Ruck.
No, I get the, like, we want to enjoy the kills. So we have to hate the people.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because I think slasher movies do that anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like, most of the people in them are not likable, so that you get to enjoy the kill.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, one death that, like, lands.
Well, in a horror movie, a slasher movie, it's the horrible people and then maybe one that you like.
Yeah.
So there are stakes. But this film is too flippant for that. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy with really gory violence in it. Because that's what I mean. Like, when he's trying to convince the friends that he's the girl in Vince Vaughn's body, that is a scene straight out of, like, Freaky Friday. It's innocent. They're doing, like, the dance, they're like handshake, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, because it doesn't really want any gravity to it.
Yeah.
It's just being completely flippant. And usually that's the kind of thing I wouldn't like. But because it's an 80s pastiche movie, I just allowed it to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I let it wash over me.
Maybe that's where we differ then. Because I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
It's not a film that I would stop people from seeing.
I think it's just better than I thought it would be. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've seen a film where I just had to enjoy myself.
Yes.
And this was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the distinction, because I don't think I let it I don't think I let it happen for me.
Okay, right. You were thinking about it too much.
Yeah, there was, like, a scene pretty much straight away after the body swap where he goes, as the girl now, he goes down to breakfast and he's obviously like, oh, I'm in this body, the things I can do. You can see that look on his face.
Yeah.
And he's presented with breakfast and he has, like, a taste of bacon and then immediately starts shoveling all of the food into his mouth. Now, obviously, funny scene, because like, oh, look at this person shoving food into their mouth. But I thought, like, if you were going to think about it, the implication is that character's not had a proper meal in quite some time.
Yeah.
So he's hungry.
Yes.
And he's like, he's feasting.
Ravenous.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you swapped minds, brains, soul, whatever it is, if you swapped consciousness with another person, would you carry your hunger with you?
Yeah, this is definitely thinking too much about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's why you liked it more than me, is because I had these questions.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just got the timbre of it early, like, Sam, just shut off.
Okay.
Just shut off and allow it to... And for that, I liked it. But, like, I know why they couldn't make it too weird, because, again, they're going for mainstream thrills. But, like, they do the typical thing where he wakes up as her, and then looks in the mirror and just kind of cups his breasts.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot weirder version of that scene that you could have done.
Yeah, fucking starts chilling himself off.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Frantically
if not that...
While staring at the mother.
Just... No, or just, like, look... You know what I mean? There's a weirder version of that scene.
Yeah.
But it's basically going for, like, a PG-13 crowd.
If the gore wasn't as gory, then this would easily be a PG-13.
Yeah.
But the gore bumps it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But again, it's fun gore. It's not, like, off-putting gore.
It's not horrific. It's... You can laugh at it. Yeah. Because it is ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would generally recommend it to people.
I would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
But it's got fun kills, and you may find enjoyment in it. Not least because Vince Vaughn does seem to be having fun.
Yeah.
I do think that kiss with that guy, though, that was...
Too far for you?
Not too far, just kind of like, I don't know what this is anymore.
It's meant to be awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, because, like, it's obviously funny, because, like, this young, attractive guy is making out with this Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
But, like... This is the conclusion of a romantic arc. Like
not quite.
Kind of. Well, like
the conclusion is when he actually kisses her.
Yeah, but like, I have like my crush. I've won over my crush. We're kind of a thing now. So like the emotions that fuel that are real, but you're laughing at the action. So it's like,
well, I think I'm
slightly confused.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's meant to be jarring and a bit weird.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, it's a cheap laugh so that they can get a kid to kiss Vince Vaughn. Yeah. Right? That's what that scene is for. Because, I don't think that character really, or any teenage boy would.
Yes.
That would be like, I really want to, but you're Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
So we'll wait.
Maybe it would be the other way around. It's like, I want to kiss you now. It's like, great. Wait until you get back into your hot body first before I kiss you as Vince Vaughn.
But in a more likeable way, so he doesn't come across as a complete douche.
Yeah.
But
I guess that's what I would be in that situation.
No, wait. Yeah. Until you're hot again.
Yeah.
Female. Just I'll wait until you're female again.
Yeah.
I'm going for that. I thought it was gonna... The place I thought it was going, but then looking back on it, like, no, for such a mainstream, middle-of-the-road film in a way, not middle of the road, mainstream film, they wouldn't have done this. When they flip back, she didn't quite have, like, the response to suggest that they had.
Yeah, so, I thought it was going in that direction.
So when she's sitting in the ambulance, she looks a bit like... She doesn't really look that phased.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, they've killed her.
Yeah.
They've shot her in Vince Vaughn's body, and now the big twist at the end of the film is, ha ha ha.
Because it's a horror film.
It's a horror film, and they're setting up a sequel maybe, or whatever. You know,
yeah.
Where he's still trapped in her body.
Yeah, that's exactly where I thought it was going.
I'm kind of glad it didn't really.
Yeah.
Because I saw it coming, for one. And, and the fact that... But it did feel weird. Like when she's back home and in the mother's bed. It's like, what's this building up to? And I thought that was the reveal. She's going to go back to her room and smell devilishly in the mirror.
Yeah.
But no, it was building up to him being in the house. But, yeah.
It might have been like in a more straightforward horror film.
Yeah.
A less goofy horror film.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see that happening. It might have been like a 10 Cloverfield Lane situation where it's like the ending doesn't really...
100%.
This doesn't work with the film that came before.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that's it then.
I think that's it. So we recommend Freaky.
We recommend it.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was our
50th
celebratory 50th episode.
Nice, shorter than usual for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's that then.
All right then.
We'll see you on episode 51 when things might be a little bit different.
It might be a little bit different.
Yeah. I'm saying no more.
Why not?
Well, because we will actually by the time this comes out. No, it won't. No? Forget it. I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
No, the timing. We've got a plan. All right. We've got a plan for you.
Apparently, we have a plan.
Watch the plan unfold. All right. Okay. All right. Well, bye then.
All right then.
Bye.
Bye.